on for some Sunday footy action. Swap, swap. Let's get it. Salty crap. Let's go here. Hey guys, how you going? So down BK Sport, we're here as the Brisbane Broncos are going to be taking on the St. George Illawarra Dragons in a game that has a lot hanging over the top of it. Let's see if the two teams can focus on the job with Ezra Mam coming back into the team lineup here for the Brisbane Broncos. Obviously, not many people agree with old mate coming back into this lineup, but at the end of the day, people make mistakes. That is a significant mistake. You know, like it's something that obviously is going to be spoken about quite a bit here today. But for the time being, let's get into the footy. Let's get into the team lineups, and then let's get into the ladders, and then see what you guys are saying. So obviously, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new around here. Appreciate all the love that you are showing on BKRtravel with the latest video for Holi Festival in India. So get around it. I appreciate you. But let's get into these two team lineups. So the Broncos, they come into this game from 8th position. They have been dropping off a lot recently, whilst the Dragons come into this game from 13th position, and this is at Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane. The in here for the Broncos is Ezra Mam, with the out being Ben Hunt. The fullback is Selwyn Cobbo, with the wingers being Dean Mariner and Jesse Arthurs. Centers of Katoni Staggs and Gehaba Shibasaki. You go into the 5'8", it is Ezra Mam, with the halfback being, ooh, geez, that just got, ooh, hold on one second here. Oh, something just happened with my computer. Ooh. Okay, cool. Let's just, sorry, my computer just started to have a little bit of a I don't know what just happened there, to be fair. I do not know what just happened. All right, so I've got to get back into the team list here. Sorry about that. The 7 is Adam Reynolds, who's the captain. You go to the props, Patrick Carrigan and Payne Haas, with the number 9 being Billy Walters. Back row is Xavier Willison and Jordan Ricky, and then Kobe Hetherington is the 13. You go to the interchange, Corey Pakes, Corey Jensen, Brendan Piacora, and Fletcher Baker, with the 18th minute replacement being Tyson Smoothie and the coach being Michael Maguire. Overall, obviously, biggest criticism is in regards to the halves, but the criticism comes from off-field, doesn't come from on-field. On-field, that is a in the grand final halves pairing, Ezra Mam and Adam Reynolds obviously were the two ones who got them to the grand final in 2023. Obviously, it didn't go to plan for them. It did for 65 minutes of that, but then not for the last 15 minutes. Overall, my biggest criticism is going to be on if the Broncos can cope with the negative attention that he's going to bring to this game today, considering his off-field actions. The 1 through 5 here for the Broncos defensively is a bit how you go on, but they can get it going as well. Like Reece Walsh is out, obviously, in the fullback department. Sorry, let me just put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Selwyn Cobbo obviously is the fullback, with Reece Walsh being out. He actually, I don't mind him as a fullback, but I don't think he's a long-term fullback. I know he originally was meant to be a fullback, but obviously hasn't been able to kind of get into that position. With Reece Walsh being there and with you know, changes all around the park, Selwyn is only there now because Reece Walsh is injured. So, yeah, look, I don't believe in this 1 through 5 as much as they have been in the past, but Jesse Arthurs is very good. Not necessarily in form recently, but is very good. Katoni Staggs has been out of form for a couple of years, but still does what he needs to do. The 1 through 5 for me just isn't getting it going as much as I would have expected it to, considering that I did put them in 5th pre-season as a prediction. And then the forwards, you know, they need to be doing a lot more. Payne Haas and Paddy Carrigan, you can't really ask for too much more than them. But Xavier Willison, Jordan Ricky, and Kobe Hetherington need to see a lot more from. So this Broncos team has been superbly disappointing so far this season, considering that they have 5 wins and 5 losses. You know, it's not like this. It's not like this Broncos team is doing it easy like you would have expected them to, considering pre-season thoughts of getting Ben Hunt and all this kind of jazz. You know, their recent games, they lost 22-14 to the Rabbitohs. They lost 32-8 to the Panthers. Yes, they beat the Bulldogs 42-18, but they lost 20-18 to the Warriors. They lost 26-16 to the Roosters. So in their last 4 games, they are in their last 5 games, they are 1 from 5. So comparatively to the Sharks, who we were talking about last night, who are 5 from 6 now after their win against the Storm, the Broncos are 1 from their last 5, and that was against top-of-the-table Bulldogs. They went up like 34-0, 32-0 in the first half of that game before the Bulldogs kind of came back a little bit, but the game was over. The second half does not matter. So it's crazy to see the polar opposite sides of what this Broncos team can achieve, where they have been so poor for the last 5 weeks, but in the midst of it, got a massive win against the top of the table, and the Bulldogs hadn't lost a game until that point. So you just don't know what to expect with this Broncos team, to be fair. But now let's look at the Dragons team. So Blake Laurie and Nathan Lawson come in, with Raymond Fatala-Mariner and Toby Couchman going out. The fullback is Clint Gutherson, who is the captain, with the wingers being Tyrell Sloan and Corey Allen. Centers of Moses Sully and Valentine Holmes. You go to the 5'8", Kyle Flanagan. Halfback is Lycan King Tongia, with the front row forwards being David Clemmer, and Blake Laurie comes into the starters, with number 9 being Damien Cook. You go to the back row, row, Dylan Egan and Jaden Sewer. And the 13 is Hamish Stewart. Go to the interchange, Jack DeBellin, Jacob Little, Luciano Leilua, and Loko Pacific Kitonga. The 18th man replacement is Nathan Lawson, and the coach is Shane Flanagan. Much similar to the Broncos, just without the expectations, is what I would say. The Dragons, their expectations are nowhere near what the Broncos were pre-season. A lot of people were tipping the Dragons bottom 6. I kind of went with 8th position on the dot. I do feel like a lot of people also were quite similar in their thought process of they might either just make it or just miss it. Still kind of probably have them around that area, to be fair. I don't have them in the 8 right now. I probably would have them about 9, 10, even 11. And they're actually still quite well below that. They're in the bottom 4 as we currently speak, but we'll get into that in a second. The Dragons are a team that are very similar to the Broncos that have some good players on their team lineup. But you just take away the expectation that the Broncos had. The Dragons have those decent names. People don't really care, though, and they've been underwhelming based off of that, regardless. So, look, I really don't know. Gutho's been great this season. Our halves are an absolute schmozzle. And we knew that coming into the season with Lachlan Ilias there as well. Damien Cook was the most random signing that made absolutely no sense, considering Jacob Little was doing really well as the hooker there. He really grew on me as a player. Like, I originally didn't really see a great deal from him, especially when he's at the Tigers. But when he's at the Dragons, I thought he was actually doing quite well. And the signing of Damien Cook made absolutely zero sense. And still to this day makes zero sense besides depth, realistically, because I still think that Little should be starting right now over Damien Cook. It's not 2020, it's not 2021 with Damo, it's 2025. We're 5 years past that, so I think that Shane Flanagan's got to bite the bullet and he's got to start Jacob Little. I think that it's a much better option there for the Dragons. Overall, this is a very mediocre team that you just don't know what you'll get. They can be really, really bad. They can be solid. I don't think I can say that they can be really, really good. Like, really, really good as a stretch. But I can say that they do have their massive on games and their massive off games, and there's kind of no in between for me. You know, sure, they lost to the Rabbitohs 25-24 back at the beginning of the season, and also 28-20 to the Bulldogs. Sure, that was like okay, but maybe that's your middle ground there, those two results there. But then they have their massive on game against the Storm 14-8, where they won. Then they lost to the Eels, which is a massive off game, considering that the Eels that's basically their only win so far this season. Obviously, they had more. They beat the Knights. Congratulations. But that wasn't a good win there. But then they're massively on against the Titans. I know it's against the Titans, whatever. And then beat the Manly Seagulls. Great on. Lose to the Roosters 46-18. Big off. Lost to the Tigers 34-28. Don't even start me on that Jaden Stewart try. The Jaden Stewart no try, which led to the Tigers try, and they literally won by 6. Anyway, the point of it is that how do you predict this game? You know, how do you predict this game? I'm going to go the Broncos based on the fact this is at Suncorp Stadium. They're probably going to play for Ezra. They are the favourites. I can understand it. I can see it. But this team is also all over the shop. So I'll take the Broncos 1-12. I could even take the Broncos 13 plus here. I really could, but I think that Gutho will get the Dragons up for a good sniff at it, and I'll say it's a 1-12, especially considering that tip the underdog. I'm on a perfect round so far. I tipped the Eels, I tipped the Bulldogs, I tipped the Sharks, I tipped the Warriors, and I also tipped Manly. So I'm 5 from 5 at the moment. I'm going to tip the Bronx, but like I can see either way here. It just doesn't kind of... Coming into this game previously, you probably would have expected the Broncos to get a little bit more excitement out of you. And the same thing goes with the new signings for the Dragons. But it's just their halves that really kick it into your teeth that say, this team's not there yet. You know, this team's just not there yet. But both teams obviously competing amongst the middle part of the table, so let's get into that. The Broncos are in 8th position. They're on 10 points. They are the top of the pile of the 4 teams that are on 10 points, which is the Broncos, the Tigers, the Roosters, and the Rabbitohs. The Roosters have already played so far this round. The Rabbitohs and the Tigers both play today against each other. So that'll be a big one there. Roosters play the Sharks next week. Good luck with that one. But the Broncos on 10 points with a plus 46. They're actually massively above the Tigers, Roosters, and Rabbitohs in regards to points differential. And they can thank the Storm for that with the Tigers, because the 64-0 took them from very close to the Broncos to minus 44 for the Tigers. The Roosters minus 46, sorry. And then the Rabbitohs minus 62. So they're like 80 ahead of those guys. So even if they lose, one of the Tigers or Rabbitohs will jump them, because they will win. If it's a draw, then both those teams will jump them, right? That would really throw the competition out of whack, because then there'd be 4 teams on a a 1-pointer separation. But and then that would actually go in line with the Cowboys up there on the -32, and the Panthers just below them too. That would throw this comp way out of whack if that Tigers Rabbitohs game was a draw. But basically, the Broncos won't go below two of the three teams I just mentioned here today. The Panthers have already played. The Dolphins have already played. The Dragons are on -15, and they're on 8 points. If they were to win this game, for the Broncos would drop down only if the Dragons won by a good, 30-odd points, right? The Knights, they've already played. The Titans would have to win by quite literally 140-odd to go above the Broncos, so good luck with that one. And they're playing the Raiders today in Canberra right after this, which we will obviously be alive for. So, yeah, look, the Broncos can't drop off too much. That's the benefit of playing late in the round. You kind of know what's going to happen. But at very minimum, if you lose this game, you will drop at minimum into 9th position out of the 8. Now, in regards to if you win this game, Broncos, you would go above the Cowboys for now. They're on 11 points. And they've got the bye next week, but a lot of teams do. You would actually go above Manly too on 12 points. So you would go into 6th position, but that's the highest you can go because the Sharks, the Raiders, and the Storm are on 14. So Manly would drop down because they're on +38. The Broncos are on +46. So you can go as high as 6th, and that is where you would finish. Simply that is where you would finish this weekend in 6th position with a win. Like I said, minimum 9th, probably 10th. If maybe not probably 10th. No, you probably finish the weekend off in 9th if you lose. On the other hand, the Dragons, you are in a world of pain right now. If you win this game, you're on 8 points alongside the Knights, the Titans, the Eels, and also the Dolphins. You got a -15 points differential. If you were to win this game, you would, for the time being, go above the Panthers. Not for the time being. You would go above the Panthers. You would also go above the Rabbitohs, who are on 10 points with -62. You would go above the Roosters, who are on 10 points with -46. And you would go above the Tigers with -44. So you would actually jump all the way up into 9th position. But as I was talking about with the Broncos, you would absolutely drop into 10th position because one of the Tigers or the Rabbitohs would jump you based off of the win. Unless it's a draw, they both jump you. So the Dragons, the highest they can finish is up there in 10th position. Because your points differential is better than those three kind of dribbler squad brigade there, and nothing would be changing to that. If you lose this game, you would have to lose by a country mile to go below the Knights. They're on -74, and you would have to lose by dead set 85 points to go below the Eels. That's not happening. You just have to hope the Titans don't beat the Raiders. If the Titans beat the Raiders, then you will drop off with a loss. Otherwise, you will just stay in 4th last for the weekend. Titans are on -84, but they're on 8 points as well, so... yeah, there you go. But anyway, guys, that's the little prediction for today's game. I'm going to go the Broncos, not convincingly, but I will say the Broncos, and let's see how the crowd reacts to the old Ezra of the man, son. All right, Ezra's back. Are you happy that Ezra's back? Absolutely fuck no. That guy shouldn't be playing. But anyway, he's playing, and we move on from it. But guys, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Let's get into the game. Nate Jason's coming Dragons 13+. Screw Mam, the mistake maker. Oh man! At the end of the day, right? You got to move. We've got to move on. It is what it is. They've done what they've done. Matt Lodge was allowed into the game. We've had plenty of players in the past make some real bad mistakes over time. I'm taking the Broncos to win, Ryan, but that doesn't mean that I'll ever back what SMM did. And Broncos fans, you shouldn't be encouraging it either. Defend your players, sure. Defend your team. Don't necessarily defend the actions of the play, which is what I would say to the Broncos fans who have been doing it online. It's he has still made a severe mistake comparatively to people who make mistakes, but not to that significant kind of level. So, yeah, sure. We'll see how it goes. But at the end of the day, the judgment's been made. We have to move and just see how he plays. Brocky says, hello, Brocky, how you doing? Marcel says, hello, Blaze, go to Saints, good luck today. How long until Reese's Pieces fingernail is healed up? I have no idea how long he's out for, to be fair. Nate J, so put 10 on the Dragons at the start of the year to make 28 points, paying 55, still a chance. To make 28 points, well, that's basically making the 8. So they're currently on 8 points, so they would need to win 10 more games. No, because they've still got 2 more buys as well, don't they? No, yeah. Oh, they've had a bye. Dragons have had 1 bye, yeah? So you'd still get 4 points at minimum. So both these teams have come out to the field now. The Broncos are coming out to the field right this second. So you had the bye in round 3, and then you have a bye next week. So you're on 8 points. Your minimum going to be on 12 points, as that's assuming you lose every game from here on out. But your minimum on 12, so then you would only need, 8 more wins? That's still a lot of wins. That's still a lot of wins, but like I can see the Dragons doing it. It's still a chance for sure. For sure. Sundo says, I changed my tip from the Broncos to Dragons just because I want Ezra to lose. Jack Kirkland says, hello Blaze, big game for Ezra. Yeah, sure. Like, I'm not a fan of looking at this man's face right now on this screen. Like, I really am not. I don't believe that he deserves to have this kind of acknowledgement and this kind of financial reward in a career whilst he's representing such a negative thing that he's done. So I'm really not happy to be watching him. But, you know, like I said, it's just the early onslaught of emotions and feelings towards this guy, and then we'll move past it, like, you know, probably after this game, right? But throughout this game, if he scores and he's happy, it'll piss us right off. But it's going to be the Dragons who get the ball here, and they're going to bring it out here to the 12, and it's going to be first tackle for St. George through Blake Laurie. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Marcel says it's going to be the most hated player in the game. Yeah, but for legitimate reasons, comparatively to Reid Marnie and Mulatalo, who, you know, is in-game stuff. Like, I feel bad for Mulatalo in a way. I think that the carry-on from people across Mulatalo is pretty rough. He's not a flog of a human. He is a flog in the game, which is entertaining. I'll argue it, and I'll talk shit, and we'll go at it, and we'll get angry and frustrated at kind of the way he acts. But also it's entertainment of the game, and that's enjoyable, and that's actually quite fun to get involved in and have that emotional reaction, that visceral reaction to what he's doing. So I'm all for the entertainment of him talking shit during the game. The difference is that's in the game, comparatively outside the game. But people like complaining about Ronaldo Mulatalo and the way that he acts is, I don't necessarily agree in regards to the significance that people kind of show towards it. So second tackle. Parachip says, go Para, Dragons will win. I don't know. I think Broncos probably win this game, but it wouldn't surprise me if the Dragons win. It's so difficult. Stop showing this idiot on our screen, bro. Oh man, I shouldn't have streamed this game. Like, I shouldn't have streamed this game. I should have just waited for the next game, to be fair. So, Buddy Garrigan now will get this ball to the halfway point. They're literally just showing camera angles of the guys. Like, I get he's the player to talk about at the moment, but not for good reasons. Thank you, Jay, for letting me know for the first time in history. Knock on there from the Broncos. And it's going to be Dragons ball at the 15. Let me refresh this score here. HSP breakfast? No, I had a Thai omelette for breakfast, mate. Had a Thai omelette for the breakfast. Oh, yeah, someone commented on my video yesterday, Kopek you, which in Thai means don't make noise you. If that was you, shut your mouth. So the Dragons now third tackle here at the 35. Kopek you. I was like, man, I don't know if it's like, I don't know who that could be. It was an account created quite literally yesterday. Knock on there by the Dragons at the 40. Kopek you. Or was it Pek Kok you? Kopek you or something like that. To be fair, maybe they took offense to you saying that you didn't like the noise that like Thai women make and whatnot. Nate J says, difference between Mam and Lodge is in Lodge paid out $1.6 million to his victim and Man paid duck eggs to his. I'm done with the Mam talk now. I agree, but you're going to get a lot of it in today's game because you're going to see a lot of him in today's game. He is a pretty pivotal position on the field, and obviously this is at Suncorp, and the media knows how to get a reaction from people. So it's like, you're right, you know, Lodge is still a wank, but at least he has tried to adjust for his actions. I'm sorry, but I haven't seen the same kind of remorse from Ezra publicly. So first tackle now for the Broncos at the 33. Jared Farmon, it's his first game back. We're going to see him man for most of the game on camera. Oh boy, yeah, I know. Oh no. I wonder how Broncos fans actually feel about it though. Like, do you still like? Is it still all love or? Because you did boo Payne Haas, as we spoke about yesterday. You did boo Payne Haas before he signed a contract extension. Third tackle now for the Broncos. They're 15 metres out of the line. Billy Walters. Oh no, there's an injury here for Dylan Egan of the Dragons. You can see him in the back play, 20 metres out. Fourth tackle here for the Bronx. God bless him. Dylan Egan at the back. What time is it now? In Thailand, 11:04 a.m. But in the game, there's only been 4 minutes. Adam Reynolds off to Wanker, and then they give it now to Willison, who is 5 metres out from the line, fit tackle. Billy Walters gives it off to Adam Reynolds. No, the ball hits the grass. Oh no, it's going to hit the... That's kind of the Broncos' fault. It's got to be Dragons' ball here at the 35. I disagree with this, ref. Like, it's kind of their fault that they've thrown it into the player who's down, injured, and back play. But sure, they're going to come back and give the Broncos another play here on fit tackle. Disagree, kind of, though, because like they're the ones who threw the ball back there, and they're the ones who got tackled. But sure, I don't think it's a huge issue. It's like it was kind of on the Broncos that happened. Milked it. Well, no. Oh, he's just twisted his knee or something. Oh, you hate to look at knee injuries, bro. I'm touching wood right now. You hate to look at knee injuries. It's not like there's no one milked it. There's no you can't milk that. Like he just grabbed the ball after it hit the Dragons player, but the pass was bad. It just didn't really do anything to the play, and ultimately it was on the Broncos in my opinion. So Dylan Egan has actually been pretty good when he's been on this season. He's unfortunately goes off. He needs to be helped off, man. It's not good. He needs to be helped off. Alright. Ooh. It's actually not bad. Damn, that's actually really good. Alright, so the Broncos here, fit tackle at the 15. They give it off here to Selwyn Cobbo and knock on by the Broncos, and the Dragons get the ball at the 11. So I got distracted. So I'm in a beret here right now. I've got a fan and whatnot. But for the streams, it's just a little bit too much to be like showing content and doing this for hours and hours a day without like aircon. So I'm moving into an aircon room for the next 5 or so weeks. And it's only like an apartment kind of deal rather than the beret. And the beret's great. But I'm moving into like an aircon accommodation apartment, which is really good, and it's only for 5 weeks, like 867 Australian dollars extra, which is really good. So 4 tackle now for the Dragons at the 45. Considering that's 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 5-6 weeks of accommodation with a pool, aircon, electricity, Wi-Fi, everything, all the likes in a great part of the town for only 867 Australian dollars extra is brilliant. So Dragons now at the 40, but that tells you how cheap and how inexpensive Thailand is. It's unreal, accommodation-wise. So Selwyn Cobbo will bring this ball out here to the 15, and it's going to be first tackle now for the Broncos. Billy Walters, he'll go out to the right, and now it's going to be Jesse Arthurs at the 22, second tackle. By the way, can you clarify for me as well, I'm not on my phone internet today. Can you clarify that it is smooth and not stopping? Please let me know in the chat that it is smooth and not stopping frequently. Oh man, I'm not looking forward to that Rays Titans game. Selwyn Cobbo, that's forward pass. That's a forward pass. Smooth as. Oh, good stuff, Joe. Good stuff. No drama so far. Well, the only drama so far is that forward pass. So it's going to be the Dragons ball here at the 50. That's a really funny shot here from 9. Selwyn Cobbo throws the forward pass, and the first thing they do is they show Reece Walsh on the sideline. Your shithouse, Channel 9. KO Fox, whoever has put that camera on Reece Walsh immediately after Selwyn Cobbo throws the forward pass, you are a dog. You are a absolute dog of a bloke. What a shit stirrer. That is incredible. That is incredible. There was no need to put Reece Walsh on the screen just then. Dragons left hand side. Gutho gives it off to Valentine Holmes. Holmes here at the 20. Quality content. Unbelievable, Sundo. Like I told you, the media knows how to get a reaction, man. That's a funny one, though. Selwyn should be the one upset, not me. Third tackle now at the 20. 7 minutes into the first half here. Smooth as a baby's bottom. Thank you for that one, no Jay. So 4 tackle for the Dragons. They're going to be 13 metres away from the line. They go out to the left, Damien Cook. Flanagan, fit tackle now, 5 metres out. And they just put shit on Broncos Day. Hey, fair enough. Fair enough. Damien Cook gets it at the back now. King Tungian, not a good kick really, but the Dragons knock it back. Still Dragons ball. Still Dragons ball. They're at the 20. Do they have space at the left? They don't. They kick it through. They'll sit up, maybe. They will sit up. And will Cobbo get out of the end goal? Well done, Selwyn Cobbo. That is really good stuff there from Selwyn Cobbo to get out of the end goal there. That ball was probably going to go dead. I agree with Brandy there. But, like, I think that was great work from Selwyn Cobbo to grab it 1 metre in for the end goal. And then also bring it out to about 2-3 metres out. Any Broncos fans in? Do they have fans? I don't know. I feel like Broncos fans, there is going to be Broncos fans in, but I feel like a majority of Broncos fans aren't really going to be kind of too active today because they know they'll get shit on for the Ezra situation. But Broncos go to the left-hand side now, and Shibasaki. Also, the Broncos don't really have too much room to talk a great deal of shit at the moment. Like, they're not really on the up. They're absolutely on the down currently, and they need to change that direction. So Ezra's going to kick that ball to the 20, and it's going to be Clint Gutho. Brings it out to the 25. You know, you'll find that with a lot of streams, like, for example, Bulldogs fans... Livy is at the game. She's always at the game, Nate. You'll find with, like, Bulldogs fans... They're doing well right now, so they're all going to be here to talk shit because they have the ability to talk shit. Same with the Warriors. You know, same with kind of even so much to say the Tigers in recent weeks, obviously, this season, comparatively to previous years. Sharks, you know, you see it and whatnot, but the point is that you kind of need your team to be doing well to come onto these streams here and to banter and shit talk during your game. Because if you're a 10 down the bottom of the table, you just know that the chat will get you, but also if you talk too much shit, I'll get you. So they go out to the left, drag us out to get the ball to the 10 metres here, where it's going to be Dean Mariner, who apparently is part Retirement. You know, fucks yeah. Good to see a Retirement amongst the game. This is what Mike, Keanu's dad, was telling me. So Rotuma is where my daughter is from, in Fiji. It's like 3 days by boat, but also you can get a plane there now, but it's always sold out. Love Rotuma. Internet's not good there, though. But apparently Dean Marin is from there, so it's a very niche place that it was awesome to find out that he was part Rotuma. Forward tackle over the Broncos, they're at the 35. 10 minutes into the first half here, guys. Hit that like button and subscribe. Still 30 minutes to go of the game. I am weighing up whether to do the Tigers or Rabbitohs or to just enjoy my rest day here. But I'm definitely doing Titans and Raiders after this. Billy Walters here. He'll flick the ball out to the right. And they've got space galore. Space galore. Tony Staggs crunching the tackle there by Corey Allen. Ex-Queensland Maroon. Tasman says, who you win? Who I win? Who I win? I wish anyone but Ezra. But, oh my, that's a penalty. Oh, well, he's in the in-goal, so it's not a penalty. He's not offside. It's a knock-on, it's a dropout, but it's not a penalty. You can't call penalty. When you're in the end goal, you can't call anything offside, and he hasn't. Good. That's good refereeing, which you don't say much. Because you could easily say, your brain could easily forget that because they're in the in goal that the offside still applies. It doesn't. When you're in the in goal, if you drop the ball forward here, Gutho can still pick it up from wherever he is, so it's still going to be a dropout. Just wait and see. I would have just loved to have heard if the commentators got that wrong, but they got it right. But who I win? I do think the Bronx win this game, but it's a very awkward game to predict. Did the 10-day contract play get booed? I didn't hear, obviously, when his name came on the screen or anything like that. But I booed him. How about that? Normally I watch Dragons games down the pub. Why didn't you go down the pub today? So Adam Reynolds, he'll flick it out the back to Hetherington, and he's going to be 5 metres away, third tackle. Third tackle now here for the Broncos. Billy Walters, he'll give it out to Paddy Carrigan. Paddy Carrigan, Adam Reynolds, flick short ball, knock on, that's Reynolds' fault. That's Reynolds' fault, man. You have the numbers galore out the back, you decide to hold it a little bit further. This is the problem sometimes with halves. They obviously have their 50-50 choice where they hold it and run, and then pass it in the line, or if they pass it early. If he passes it early there, they actually probably score. They had numbers at the back. But instead, Reynolds decides to cut back on the inside, hold it up a little bit for Jordan Ricky, who I think is actually lucky to have a gig still nowadays. I don't think he's been having a good couple of years. I know about his New Zealand international history. Still don't think he's that fantastic. I think he's got a lot to prove considering what he was upcoming and whatnot. And I think that he's relying upon, his history with the Bronx. I think he's relying upon his potential as a player. I don't think that he's come into the play that he realistically should be. I had high hopes for Jordan Ricky. But yeah, the point of the matter was that wasn't Jordan Ricky's fault. That was Adam Reynolds' fault, who went for the short play after holding it up and just didn't work out. So out of the left-hand side, Lycan King Tungia to Luciano Leilua. He'll be at the 35. Dylan Egan, unfortunately, ruled up with a knee. Jay says, because Jag goes to the same pub is why Nath didn't go today. Well, Nath would never go if that was the case. Gutho here gets the ball up. A great offload from Clemmer, and King Tungia, 4 tackle at the halfway point. Sam's best mate. Yeah, Skunkle does love Jag, they're best mates. Very close friends. David Clemmer off to Hamish Stewart, and he's 45 metres away, fit tackle. Damien Cook to Kyle Flanagan. And they'll be taking it down here. 15 metres out. Someone Cobbo gets the ball. Livy Ree with the $8 donation representing the Bronx Nation says, another day, another dono, live from Suncorp Stadium, hoping for a miracle. Well, why would it be a miracle, though? Why would it be a miracle, Olivia? Surely it wouldn't be classed as a miracle. You would have been favoured for this game, no? I don't know. I'm not able to see the betting odds. I might be able to, being in Thailand, but I just don't. Surely it's not a miracle for the Broncos to win this game. I tipped the Broncos, but I'm not confident. Like, I still think it's relatively 50-50. Relatively, but I would lean towards the Broncos because of their lineup overall. We are, but you know us. Yeah, another team playing next too. Don't worry, they're a lot more unconvincing. But the Broncos get this ball down to the Dragons to fight. But I would say the Dragons, the team you're playing, are also very hard to read. So it's a very difficult game to read, but I have lent with the Broncos. I think that on paper, the Broncos should be winning 13+, but also on paper, they have an idiot on the field. Dadsmate says, I'm banned from going to the pub. But anyway, thank you for your donation, Olivia. And also, happy birthday for Tuesday, no? Is it Tuesday? Can't remember. I think it was Tuesday, wasn't it? Dadsmate says, I'm banned from going to the pub, but like God forbid I go support a local business. Gee whiz. Yeah, but that's because you're a Bulldogs fan, mate, and every time the Bulldogs win, you get the Lebanese drums out, and you also start banging on the windows with the drumsticks. You're not allowed to do that, Dads. You can't be banging on the windows with the drumsticks. Jared 5 minutes says, yeah, Dragons are $3, Bronx are like $1.40. Damn, like they're heavy favourites. That's good value for the Dragons. $3, $3.30 for the Dragons is very good value. Not because they're fantastic, but because the Broncos are inconsistent and the Dragons are inconsistent. And, yeah, I think that's a valuable option there. And Broncos crunch down here at the 20 through Dean Marin, a second tackle. Dude, I'm actually so excited hearing about that. The cost to upgrade to the apartment. I'm actually super excited about that. Nate Chase, I got on 13 plus paying $11. Okay. Well, Nate, this is where you go wrong. You know, this is the issue that we have here. If the Dragons win this game, they're not winning 13 plus. If they win this game 13 plus, I slap myself in the face and I'll change my name to Sally. Like, why are you tipping on 13 plus? Why don't you just tip the Dragons to win at $3.30? That's still good odds. Or 1 at 12. You know, or do like a handicap of -5.5. And I still don't even agree with that necessarily. Like, there's a very good chance this game could go down to the wire and be a 1, 2, 4 point game. Why go 13 plus? Why? Like, why? Air con is always a bonus, especially in Thailand, bro. But like 867 Australian dollars for 5 to 6 weeks in great accommodation down the road. Give it to me every day, ending in Y, twice. I'll be here for Overlap and Sally. Mate, Overlap Sally all day. Oh, don't let this prick score. They give it up to Adam Reynolds now. Not the prick I was talking about. Adam Reynolds kicks it across on 4th tackle. I think that's a knock on. I think that's a knock on from the Dragons. It's going to be knock on Dragons. So it'll be Broncos ball here at the 10. They're slapping. No, you said overlapping Sally. We'll overlap Sally. By the way, went for like a 6-7K walk last night just for a bit of fun. Just wanted to walk around and know the area a bit more because I'm going to be here for like 2 months. Walked past the famous district areas, and it's wild. Like, I know what Thailand is. I know what Thailand has in regards to its like red light districts and its party districts and its girly bars and stuff. But you walk down that and you'll get a culture shock of how crazy they will go to try and get you in. I'm just walking past. I'm getting slapped on the ass. I'm getting grabbed. Oh, Ezra, man. Forward pass. No forward pass? That's a forward pass, bro. They're going to call that a try. Gubbo's call. That's a forward pass. That is 1,000,000,000% a forward pass. Oh, come on. Okay, let's have a look at this again. I've tipped the Broncos here, but this is clearly a forward pass. This is clearly a forward pass. I want to have a look at this one again. Shut the fuck up, Ezra, man. Good stuff for Dean Mariner, but Ezra, man, I'm not having any of you. Oh, stop it, bro. Stop it, bro. This game is ridiculous. How do you not call that as a forward pass? The ball's coming out of his hands forward. The ball's coming out of his hands forward, dude. How do you not call this shit? Your job as an official is to call a forward pass. How do you miss this shit? We saw it live, bro. Like, Like yesterday, they can't even call a knock-on against Rodder Tuivasa Sheck that leads to a Warriors try. And then now, again, I tipped this team. I think the Broncos win this game. But it's dog shit. Like, that's not a hard call to make. We saw it live that it was forward. Oh, dude, this game is gone. Like, and you can't even excuse the referee for that. The officials have a very tough job on field. It's a very tough job. They're not going to get every call right. But you can't get that wrong. You know, like, it's okay if you get a niche call wrong. You know, you get annoyed, but it's like, whatever. It's okay if you miss something that is very slight. That was a very obvious forward pass. It's like you don't have an issue with the more individual ones. But you do have an issue with, so Reynolds will hit the post and it will go in. So it's 6-0 hit the Broncos. You have an issue when it's so blatantly, clearly obvious like that, and yet, like, what do you mean, bro? And of course it comes off of Ezra Mam. Lucas says we have to let Bunker rule on this stuff, to be honest, even though Bunker is shot. Well, Bunker, sure, but there are a lot of calls, there are a lot of forward passes and stuff that are debatable to be able to go 50-50, which you'd lean with the on-field decision, which most obviously do, but that should be going to the bunker and be called as a forward pass, because you can see it from the start, you can see it from the jump. If it's a difficult, controversial one, then sure, lean with the on-field decision, people can have their perspectives. But when it's as blatantly obvious as that one, or like the one a couple of years ago for the Broncos against the Warriors, whatnot, that's when you have to sit back and be like, well, shit, man, how do you get this so wrong? The bunker should be able to rule on it, because if we can see it, they can see it. That's a bad call. Jared Farm Money says he was right there with great vision. Touch him, mate. You're not there for decoration. No, they're there to pretend like they're playing so the ball can be thrown over the sideline. Anyway, 6-0 here, 18.5 minutes into the game. I hate talking about the officials as much as we do, but, like, what do you want me to do? Someone says the bloke is immune to forward passes as well. I want to see the reaction on the NRL. I love checking out the Instagram comments on the NRL. So Adam Reynolds now. He'll kick this ball down to Gutho at the 20, and he'll bring it out of the 25. I would love to go see this. Let's see, NRL. Second tackle. People will blow up at the fact that it was also Ezra who did that. They haven't posted anything from this game yet, so we'll wait. So that's going to be a penalty to the Dragons here, so that'll be big for them. Yeah, post something, NRL. Post the try. Show us the try highlight on Instagram. Come on. Touchdown pass from Queensland Cup player. So 20 minutes into the game here, guys. First half. Hit that like button and subscribe. Dragons will get the ball here at the 45 on the Broncos side of the field. Oh, actually, you know what'll be good? Twitter's usually good for it too. Twitter's usually good for a meltdown like I just had. Alright, so Dragons with the ball. Second tackle, 30 metres away here from the line. In local league, they don't have touchies. If the home club wants touchies, they can talk to the main ref and appoint kids, teenagers. They might as well just do that in NRL too. Yep. Any other ref would have pulled this back. Brisbane are unbeatable under this ref. To be fair, Jared Sutton was the one who took a lot of calls against the Titans in the 2016 quarterfinal against the Bronx. So left-hand side here, Luciano Lua gets it off. Chance here, Gutho. Gutho cuts back in. He's 10 metres out. He'll have to go down, fit tackle. They don't post controversial tries for whatever reason. Do they not? I swear I've seen somewhat controversial tries on there before. They kick it across. That's going to be dropped. Dragons try. No. Knock on Dragons. Knock on Dragons. I thought that was going to be a Dragons try there. Some people would say they don't understand the things I say on Twitter. I hate that it's so catchy. They're going to challenge this. They are going to challenge this here, the Dragons. Why are you challenging this? Because I've just seen it. I've just seen it, and it's... I didn't see it live, but when I've seen the replay, you shouldn't be challenging this. So, Terrell Sloan... Why are you challenging that? That actually is possibly the worst challenge I've ever seen. That might actually be the worst challenge I think I've ever seen. That may possibly possibly be the worst challenge I have ever witnessed in my life. And I've seen some bad ones before. We've seen some really bad ones. How does Sloan not know that he touches the ball there? How does he know? Someone said Ezra Breeze with the pass deep downfield for the try. Oh, damn, I'm not reading out that comment. That is a Dogs comment from the late 90s, and Daz, you don't want to hear it, mate. So there is a bad Twitter comment about the Dogs and that forward pass. So it's going to be forward tackle here for the Broncos at the 40. Lucas, it's what has gone through Sloan's head. Mate, it's a great challenge. It's a very, very good challenge. Some would say it's quite mentally challenged to make that challenge. Jared Fartmone says, at least with this challenge, he wasn't sent to the bin. Yeah, forward pass! Are we calling it 4 passes anymore, lads? And it's going to be a penalty to the Dragons in the end from a knock-on afterwards, and then a player picked it up from the Broncos. Do 4 passes exist in rugby league, lads? Rugby league. Just want to ask, Daz, all you have to do is type in NRL on the latest on Twitter, and it's talking about a certain incident coughs. So that's why I won't read it out. So that's why I probably would suggest not going and seeing it. But I just, seeing that comment, I was not expecting that when looking at the NRL forward pass from Ezra Mam in the previous try. So right-hand side for the Dragons, and King Tungiga gets it off here to David Clemmer. And Clemmer's going to be second tackle here, 28 metres out of the line. We don't call forward passes or knock-ons. Well, knock-ons we have been calling today. Forward passes, not so much. So Dragons here, 18 metres away now, third tackle. If the ref would have sent it up... The ref would have sent it up if he wasn't 100%. Not always, but I get where you're coming from. 6 again now for the Dragons. 5 metres out. King Tungiga off to DeBellin. DeBellin off to Flanagan. Flanagan over the top here. Great pass. Tyrell Sloan. And good defense there from Jesse Arthurs to keep him inside. Keep him down. And it'll be second tackle of the Dragons. 5 metres away. Gutho playing dummy. Out to Flanagan. Flanagan off to Jaden Sewer. Sewer cuts back in. And then he'll get this ball to about 8 metres out. Payne Haas with a good tackle there. Alongside Jordan Ricky. The bunker checks it anyway, you Muppets. So the bunker wouldn't have been checking that one, Daz, because it was called a knock on an infield, so the bunker doesn't check that one. The bunker only checks the ones that it's like a dead ball, or, yeah, it's usually like a dead ball. 6 again now for the Dragons, and they're 10 metres out from the line. Dragons, Hamish Stewart, 4 metres out from the line. Yeah, bunker only automatically checks when it's like out the dead ball, or I think knock on in the in goal. So anything to do with in the in goal, but the play wasn't in the in goal. It was about 4 metres out. All right, left-hand side now. Jack DeBellin out to Gutho. Gutho goes himself, and half a metre short. Helen says Ezra's back. Fuck Ezra, man. So 4 tackle now, 2 metres out. They give it to Jack DeBellin. DeBellin off to Jaden Sewer. Jaden Sewer here. Now, what reply do you want me to reply to you there, Helen? You're very well aware of what Ezra Mem has done outside of footy. Like, at the end of the day, he's got to try this, sure. But, and I do think that, he's actually lost the ball there, Ezra Mem. And it's going to be a penalty against the Dragons. Sammy Cook does touch him. Like, what do you want me to say there? You know, like, Broncos fans should just, honestly, just let the game happen today, and they shouldn't be bringing a guy like what he's done up. Just let us fans of other teams, and just let us fans kind of move past today. And then, like, obviously we'll have a lot less of a visceral reaction on future streams and future comments, and people will be a lot less kind of animosity-driven once we get past today. I think today is just the worst day for it, based on the fact that what he's done is completely wrong, and he's got a similar suspension to guys who have said a word, right? And it was a bad word, and I don't disagree with the suspension that Spencer Leniu got, but, like, to say that he gets, like, 8-10 weeks, and Ezra gets the same for what he did, it's like no one's really going to agree with that if you've got a sense of moral compass. So, yeah, there's going to be a visceral reaction today, but in the future, it won't be as much. So, second tackle now for the Broncos. They're 33 metres out here on the line. Second tackle. And it's going to be Billy Walters who goes out of the right side to Adam Reynolds. Reynolds off to Payne Haas. Payne Haas here off to Mam. And Mam is going to be taken down to the 30. Third tackle. 15 minutes left in the first half. Did you find the tweet, by the way, Daz? Did you find the tweet? 4 tackle here, 20 metres out. Billy Walters off the Paddy Carrigan. Very classy from said 20. So 5th tackle now, 10 metres out. There's actually 2, but the other one wasn't really that bad. Oh, he's going to score 2. Fuck this loser. Shut your mouth, Ezra. Damn, it pisses you off to see this guy celebrate this shit. So Ezra Man will score. Nah, I ain't getting behind that. Dude, it's actually... like, this is a fine try for the Bronx. It's just, unfortunately, who scores it gets you. Lazar says, how does Tapau get insta-terminated for a post? So I think that Tapo, or Martin Tapau, however you pronounce the last name, I think that the Broncos have used it as an excuse. I don't think it's necessarily about what actually happened, because if, say, for example, Adam Reynolds did that and liked a critical post, or Cobbo complains about his coach in a podcast, or these guys like a negative post against a team, blah, blah, blah. If the big players do it, they're not going to terminate them. But if a player who's very brink of playing, even in the 17, let alone in the 13, is going to make something like that, they're going to free up the cap space, they're going to get rid of Martin Tabu, and I feel like that's probably what they've done here. Kendrick says, who do you think will win? I think the Broncos win. I tipped the Broncos before the game started. Have no problem with the Broncos winning. I just don't like this loser who just scored. But overall, I feel like the Broncos are the better team here, and I think that they will win this game. Who scored the first try? First try chase was Dean Mariner, no? I think it was Dean Mariner. No, it was Gehema Shibasaki, sorry. Gehema Shibasaki was the one who scored the first try, and then Ezra Mam scored the second try. Alright, so, but yeah, anyway, point of the matter was that I don't think that Tapu was actually terminated on the pure reasoning of the liked post. I think he was terminated because it was a good excuse to terminate him to free up cap space. And liking that critical post of Madge is grounds, I guess, for termination in regards to bringing the couple into disrepute publicly. Alright, so 12 minutes 46 to go. The first half, it is 12-0 to the Broncos. $12:46 to go. Still plenty of time to go, though. Plenty of time to go here, Dragons. Yeah, makes sense. It looks bad with Ezra, though. No, it does look bad with Ezra. No, 100%. I think that they had the wrong timing. I think they should have waited for this game to happen and then done it, Monday, Tuesday kind of deal of this week. I think you could have waited. You could have pretended you didn't see it, or you could have delayed the response and said, we're going to have meetings and talk about it internally, and then you do it after this game. I think that doing it before this game was always going to create a stir, because people obviously disagree that Ezra Mem should be allowed to play in the game of rugby league, and disagree that he should have a contract based off of his instance off the field. So I do agree that there shouldn't have been a termination of Marty Tapau's contract before this game. It should have been this week after this game, if that's the way they wanted to go. Ms. says, got any predictions for the two teams that will play in the grand final this year? Well, I'm still going to back in the Sharks. So Dragons get this ball to 5 and they'll bring it out here to 10. So 11:50 to go here the first half. Dragons get the ball to 15. Look, I think I'm still going to back in the Sharks, man. I predict them to win the comp before the season started. That's close to a high tackle, they won't call it. So and they've won 5 out of the last 6 games. Beat the Storm last night, which was a good win against a team that's super inconsistent, but still a good win. So I'll go Sharks, and I will say that it's... I got there first, by the way, Joe. 4th tackle here at the 35. I will say, though, it's between the Bulldogs and still the Storm for me in regards to who gets to the other spot in the grand final. It's between the Bulldogs and the Storm. I'm still going to lean for the time being that the Storm have what it takes to go deep into the finals further than the Bulldogs. I think if they play each other, it'll be a great game. But I do still think the Storm give me more confidence in regards to their experience compared to the Bulldogs. So I'm going to say Sharks Storm on 2016 repeat. I can't go away from the Sharks right now, considering that's a knock on there for the Broncos, and the Dragons will get the ball here at the 35 on their own side of the field. So it's a very difficult one though, Miss Sir, because if you look across the competition, there is 2 points currently separating 17th from 8th, and there's only 4 points separating 17th from 6th. And even if you want to go up into the top 4, there is quite literally 3 wins, just 3 wins, that separate the bottom 4, last place, from the top 4. So that tells you how close this competition is. So I do think that there are pretty clear enough leaders so far this season, but there is a long season still to go, right? Like there's still, round 11? There's 27 rounds throughout the season. Second tackle of the Dragons, the halfway point. It is 10 minutes to go the first half. Hit that like button and subscribe if you are new around here. Damien Cook with the ball. He'll get this ball to the 43 or so, third tackle. Oh, Casey Badger's the touchy, is she? Out to Flanagan, then on to Jaden Sewer, gets the offload away, beautiful offload. And Jacob Little is going to be 15 metres out of the line, fourth tackle. Here we go, here's a chance. Gutho, he cuts back inside. No, Gutho, why are you kicking that? Why is Gutho kicking that, bro? It's fourth tackle and you've got players around you. You should be passing that ball. You should be passing that ball. So second tackle now for the Broncos, and they're going to be 7 metres out of their own line now. Jesse Arthurs. I know it's a short space, but even if the pass doesn't come off and you don't actually score, you still got another tackle after that. Like, that was the wrong play there from Gutho. I just didn't see a world where that kick actually was going to come off anyway, to be fair, because Broncos had players back there and kind of ready to protect in that situation. So the Broncos' fifth tackle will be at the 40. Decent enough set to get them a little bit out of trouble. Marcus, there have been some outrageous tries this weekend. Yeah, that Nwanga Tawase try was unbelievable. What are the other ones you're talking about, though? So, Nwanga Tawase was the one that you're specifically referring to. Corey Allen with a good run to the 30. Round 17 rematch. Oh, penalty to the Dragons. They need it. They do need it. Up next, live from Thailand. Sawati crap. Sawati crap. That was Ruffo from Gutho. Ruffo from Gutho. That's very Mount Druitt of you. Gutho. That's very Mount Druitt of you, Nate, to say Ruffo from Gutho. Very Druitt. Michael Maguire has an 80% win record versus the Dragons. Round 17 rematch with the Sharks versus Storm. Yeah, that'll be a good one. Oh, is that ruined by Origin? Because next week is ruined by Origin-ish, and the week after... Oh, that might be ruined by Origin, that rematch. Very Druidy. Very Druidy. So, second tackle, Dragons at the 35. Can you get the offload away here? Cannot do it. They'll be 30 metres out, third tackle. Does your new room come with 2 beds? What's the joke here, Jay? What's the joke? I'm trying to figure out what the joke is. What's the joke here, Jay? So, Dragons, Jaden Stewart, 20 metres out, fourth tackle. Fourth tackle, Jacob Little, good run off to Flanagan. Flanagan has to pass the ball, bro. Good tackle by Reynolds, but you've got to pass the ball in that situation earlier. Out to King Tangia. That's a good kick. Oh, they're going to say play on here. They're going to say play on here. I would come back and check this. Yeah, what happened there? Hungry before dinner says come crash at yours. Mate, to be fair, like, this room is quite small. It's a good room, but it's super inexpensive. I just would prefer that, to be fair. But, sure. You know, if you're in who are in, sure, buddy. I'm not publicly saying the hotel that I'll be at, but sure. He's grabbed his arm there. This might actually be a penalty. Yeah, it's going to be a penalty here to the Dragons. Oh, he scored! He may have... Has he actually scored this? He scored the try, bro! And is that not a penalty as well? So should that not be an 8-point try? If that's a tackle mid-air and he's put this ball down, it's an 8-point try. It's a penalty try. It has to be a penalty try, though. So, it's a try. So, the Dragons are going to score. It's going to be 4-0 here with the kick to come. But, sorry, not 4-0. It's going to be 12-4 with the kick to come. But it has to be a penalty try here. Have they called this an 8-point try? He has... But that doesn't make any sense. You have said that it's a penalty for a tackle in the air on the exact same play If you're disagreeing with the fact that that's just rugby league 1 now, sure. But if the bunker has admitted, if he doesn't put that ball down, it's a tackle in air. So that is a penalty. But he has actually scored from within that penalty situation. So if you're grabbing him and saying it's a tackle in air, and yeah, he scored anyway, that is a try, a kick from where you scored, and a kick from right in front. That's an 8-point try. What is more 8-point try than that? What is an 8-point try anymore? And I don't understand how he grabbed that either, Mitchell. I agree. Tyrell Sloan scored, Lazar. Tyrell Sloan. So Valentine Holmes here to make it 12-6. I don't understand what constitutes an 8-point try anymore, because that is a penalty and a try. So Val Holmes will miss the kick. But it's like, okay, sure, but now he should be kicking in front to make it a 12-6 scoreline. This game is being officiated so horrifically. Helen says Bronx will win. Yeah, I tipped the Bronx before the game. I know you're trying to get a reaction out of this stream. Helen, again, I've tipped the Broncos. There's no problem with the Broncos. I don't understand what reaction you're trying to achieve here. Yeah, exactly right. Someone said technically that is an 8-point try. I found the process for a try-scoring play. Of course, that would be utterly ridiculous, but by the law, it should be an 8-point try. Correct. Correct. People are saying effing correct. NRL at it again. Warriors, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Have you tried the Pepsi there yet? Any diff? Yeah, it's different, bro. I don't drink it now. When I first got here, when I first got to Thailand, and I had it in Bangkok before I started my fitness routine thing here, I tried it, and yeah, dude, I'm not a big fan of the Pepsi here. It's kind of like a yeah, no, I'm more Coke Zero, bro. I can't. Pepsi Max and Pepsi isn't my thing in Thailand. Definitely pro Broncos officiating. So far it has been. So far there's been a lot more beneficial calls here for the Bronx. Chase, they need a new fresh set of officials. They don't want to ever hold their officials accountable though. I get protecting your staff. I get defending and protecting your employed officials. But also we need to see some accountability, because where's the accountability? We see constantly bad calls game after game. That is technically an 8-point try. The first try with the Broncos was a forward pass. I don't understand why the NRL makes out that we're the villains for complaining and criticising this. Joe Farman says, thanks, Klein. Looks like you need to review the rule book again and penalty tries. This isn't Klein, is it? This is Jared Sutton, isn't it? Am I looking at the wrong ref? Is this not Jared Sutton? Yeah, it's Jared Sutton, bro. Actually, unless you... Okay, yeah, I know what you mean in regards to Ashley Klein. I didn't even think about it. And that's going to be a drop ball there from the Dragons. And the Broncos are going to get the ball here at the third. Oh, they're going to say backwards. They usually will call that as a knock-on. Oh, man. I've got to be honest with you. The officiating is diabolical. At least that's a bad call against the Dragons. A bad call against the Broncos rather than for the Broncos this time. That's a knock-on every day of the week, bro. Unless he's hit his arm, unless it's bouncing off his arm, but usually they will say, in the contact like that, they do call that, but if it's bouncing off his arm, then it's actually okay. So third tackle now, it'll be Flanagan. Flanagan will go to the 30. Jared said, I thought Klein was bunker. So Klein is bunker, yeah, it was my bad, but I thought you were talking about the on-field referee. So the Dragons, Jack to Bell, and it'll be 30 metres out, fit tackle. Yeah, sorry, I should have specified I was talking about bunker. Ricky, get around. Yeah, someone says, I know you're not a drinker, but when I was there last, purchased a Smirnoff vodka bottle and took a shot and nearly projectiled. Genuinely think they increased their percentage by 100% for the ages. Don't know about 100%. Try Fiji Bounty Rum if you want something strong. But yeah, even when I'm not doing my fitness, I'm still not really a big drinker. When I go out for a drink, I will drink. But when I'm not drinking, I can go months, I can go a year without drinking. It's just that when I'm with my mates and friends and families up in Fiji, or if I'm with friends and family in India, wherever I am, then I can have a few. I might have a few once I finish this fitness routine for the next 6, 7 weeks, 8 weeks. But after that, it might be just 1 or 2, but it still could go months and months. I'm not a huge drinker. The Dragons with the ball here at the 38. I can actually go out with people who are drunk and drinking and actually have fun too. A couple of Irish lads in India were drinking all night, and they were surprised that I could just sit up and laugh and have a good time without alcohol. I don't need it. So third tackle now at the 45. But I think this kind of helps, the YouTube streams and whatnot, where you can just kind of find your own you know, ability to just talk and enjoy and have a laugh and whatnot. 6 again here for the Dragons. That's huge. 38 metres out from the line. Underneath here for Damien Cook. And it'll be taken down to the 25. Skunkle says, man, Broncos are so notorious for forward passes. No, it's disgusting. Oh, bro, we've been going off in this game, Skunkle. You've missed out. You've missed out, brother. You've missed out. Second tackle here, 38 metres out from the line. Sorry, 18 metres out from the line. You also missed out the fact that it should have been an 8-point try, or at least a extra conversion from in front. Valentine Holmes should have passed the ball to the wing, but it will be 3 metres out from the line. Third tackle. Third tackle, they give it out to King Tagia, then off to Lucian Leilua. Leilua, then to Jaden Sewer. Sewer gives it off to Sully. Sully flicks that ball off to Flanagan, and they're going 15 metres out of the line. Well, no, it's not forward. What? I want to see this again. I want to see that again. I love that from Bossy. He goes, that's a little bit ironic. Yeah, it's ironic that you call that controversial pass as a forward pass, but you don't call the first try for the Broncos as a forward pass. And I would love to see if this actually is a forward pass. I would desperately encourage a beautiful... Oh, they're not going to show us the pass. They're not going to show us the pass, are you? Is that right? Is that right, KO? Is that right, Channel 9? You're not going to show us the replay of the pass. Is that right? Go fuck yourself. That's... Oh, dude. The entertainment of this game is just... It's never ending. It's never ending, man. It's never ending. Gary says, good morning, afternoon, and evening, everyone. 5:42 here in London and beautifully sunny. Liar! It is never sunny in England! What do you not understand about lying on this channel here? And the Broncos are away. They kick the ball down through, and that's going to go over the sideline. Dear me. How's Ben Hunt going? Yeah, Ben Hunt's going well, mate. He's not playing today. Someone says, don't know what they did to their Smirnoff products in Thailand, but damn, don't recommend. I don't know what they do in general because, yeah, Coke Zero tastes a little bit different, but I don't mind it. Pepsi and Pepsi Max and whatnot. Ugh, not my thing, bro. Not my thing at all. It's disgusting how frequent they do it and get away with it. Oh, it's ridiculous, Skunkle. Oh, I've been losing my mind. Jan 5 minutes, it's good to hear about that. I don't drink and people are surprised. I just fit in with the atmosphere. I'm a very personal person. I guess when I was like 18, 19, 20, you're a bit different. But I'm 31 now, so you kind of know how to enjoy yourself without drinking. Sometimes I'll have a drink for sure, but overall... Yeah, Gutho's complaining to the ref. Gutho, get into him. Get into Jared Sutton. Get into Jared Sutton. He deserves it. There's your captain. Shut your mouth. Gee whiz. Like, you deserve the criticism, Sutton, and you deserve the criticism, Ashley Klein at the top, and you deserve the criticism for Casey Badger on the sideline. The officials deserve the criticism in this game. Truly. So Casey Badger is a touch judge, but I want to confirm this. John Stone and Casey Badger. Is Casey Badger on the side of where that forward pass happened? Because John Stone, no one knows. So it's like, we want to see if it was Casey Badger on the sideline there. But anyway, halftime at 12-4 to the Broncos. Very controversial half where there's been some pretty poor calls. But obviously, you know, well, Stone is done, unfortunately. Hit that like button and subscribe. 12-4 to the Broncos. Let's go through some of these stats here. So the possession-wise, 54% of the Dragons, 46% of the Broncos. Time of possession is 15 minutes 14 for the Dragons, 12 minutes 45 for the Bronx. Completion rate, 84%, 16 from 19 for the Dragons, with 73% for the Broncos at 14 from 19. So they're not playing too well, but, you know, realistically it should be 6-4. All runs, 84 to the Dragons, 83 to the Broncos, but the Broncos are 800 metres to 691. So the Dragons have one extra run, and yet they're down by 109 metres on the run meters. That is absurd. So the Dragons are getting punched in the mouth by the Broncos middle forwards. The post-contact meters is 255 to 231, relatively close, but still the Broncos are in advantage there. Line breaks is 4-0 to the Bronx, so the Dragons haven't had a single line break, but they have had 14 tackle breaks to 8. The average set distance is 42.14 for the Bronx, 36.41 for the Dragons, so not that great for the Dragons, but at least it's a bare minimum. The Broncos are on the pretty good level of 42.68, and it's moving up towards the really solid levels of 45. And then kick return is 120.78. The play the ball speed is quite slow from the Broncos, 3.61, but the fast-paced 3.22 for the Dragons. That's really quick. Offloads at 6-4 Broncos way. You've got the forced dropouts 1-0 to the Bronx. Grubbers 3 for the Dragons, 2 bombs for the Bronx. Both teams 0 on the opposite side of the spectrum there. Dragons defense is actually really good today. 92.46% is phenomenal. 184 tackles made for 8 missed tackles and 7 ineffective tackles. That's really good defense. If it wasn't for a forward pass, the score would reflect that, with it being 6-4 rather than 12-4. The Broncos, on the other hand, they're just below the bare minimum of 88%. They're on 87.32%. 186 tackles made for 14 missed tackles and 13 ineffective. So it's not good on both accounts there. Their defense isn't awful, but it's definitely not great. It's just they've had to make a lot of tackles that they have made, which has obviously enhanced their percentage up to the 87.32%. So the Dragons defensively have actually been pretty solid statistically so far. Errors-wise, Broncos 6, Dragons 4, penalties conceded 3, Broncos 2, Dragons 2 ruck infringements to the Bronx and 1 to the inside 10 for the Broncos. So overall here, man, the possessions have 50% each, mind you. It's 50-50. I think that the stats definitely favour the Bronx in regards to the run meters by a long way. The play the ball speeds, it's slowed down a little bit now for the Dragons, so as it's updated to 3.36. But overall, their defense has been very solid with 184 tackles, 8 missed tackles, 7 ineffective, 92.46 percentage. So yeah, you can't really complain too heavily with that. Overall, game's still well and truly on. Unfortunately, we've seen too much involvement from the males and females in the officials, whether that be the bunker, the touchy, or the referee. But hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Ibrahim says, if someone whacks Mam, we should make today a public holiday. Correct. He has unfortunately scored a try, though. Mitchell says, Darius Boyd get a try. Yeah, Darius Boyd not going to try just yet, but Shane Webke did. Shane Webke definitely did. Ricky says, the Warriors were so close to a loss against the Dolphins. Yep. Hungry Before Dinner says, felt bad for the Dolphins yesterday. Why? They had they had a ridiculous amount of knock-ons. Why do you feel bad for them? It's like, yeah, that was a bad call. Don't get me wrong, the Royals were about to check knock on, but also, it's not like they deserved it. Oh, here we go. Someone commented, another NRL game, another blatant 4-pass let go by officials for another try. Dude, just ridiculous, man. People are going off on Twitter, bro. People are going absolutely off on Twitter. But yeah, why do you feel bad for the Dolphins? Because at the end of the day, they had plenty of time to overturn that result, and they had plenty of opportunity and knocked the ball on a million times. They knocked the ball on a ridiculous amount of times. Breton says, just tuned in. A Mexican training ship hit the Brooklyn Bridge a couple of hours ago. Is this actually like a legit thing, or? I'll have a look. I don't know what's happened. Brooklyn Bridge collision with Mexican naval ship leaves multiple casualties. Damn, New York is New York's in a shit fight right now. 1 for that, but also 2 because the Knicks are winning. And with the Knicks being in the Eastern Conference Finals, that city is going to be destroyed if they win the NBA. And that's not even joking. You guys, like, if you don't know American sports, when they win their sport, it's like if the Bulldogs won the comp here. You know, it would be dangerous for the city of Sydney. In America, it was when Philadelphia won, they stole an emu, or an ostrich, sorry. They stole an ostrich from the Philadelphia Zoo and started riding it down the main street of Philadelphia town, of Philadelphia City. That's the kind of level they go. You had people literally having sex on the streets. Like, on the streets. There were thousands, hundreds of thousands of people all over Philadelphia out. That's what happened when Philadelphia won their first NFL championship back in 2017. So, you know, that's kind of the shit that goes down in America. So, yes, that's crazy what happened with Brooklyn. God bless the people there. But New York's about to go through a really crazy time if they win this NBA championship. Daniel Milch says, got to get the KFC revenue in. Yeah. The old KFC revenue. Get around it. Warriors says Titans win 13 plus. Hey man, I hope so. I'll be live streaming obviously the Titans Raiders game. I'm probably going to give the Tigers Rabbitohs game a miss. We'll see how we feel, but I'm definitely going to be here live for the Titans versus Raiders game. There were riots to in Philly when they won the Super Bowl. Well, Gary, that's what we're talking about. That's literally the time we're talking about. Jared Fartmoni says, Jamie Sauer going to win with the field goal. I'm calling it now. No, Jamie Sauer's unfortunately not playing today, but Reg Gasnier, I reckon, has got a good try left in him. Mitchell says New York may get burnt down even if they win ECF game 1. Or one ECF game. But like they're playing the Pacers. It's actually crazy because actually, did OKC play today? Oklahoma City Thunder. It's still half time by the way, guys. Tomorrow at 2:30 a.m. my time. So if Oklahoma win their game, then whoever wins the NBA this year, out of the last 4 teams, actually win their first ever championship. Because I don't think New York's ever won. Or have they, back in like the 60s and 70s? How many NBA championships have the Knicks won? I don't think they've won. Oh, they've won 2, back in 1970 and 1973, sorry. So, maybe not. But point is that Oklahoma, Minnesota, and also Indiana have not. Marcel says, why wasn't that 8-point try? Mate, we've been going off about it the entire time, bro. Don't worry. Whatever you can think of in regards to this game and the officiating, I've spoken about it. Someone on Twitter said, what are the touches for? You rarely see blatant forward passes penalised nowadays as a joke. Correct, it is. Ezra throws pass forward 5 metres. Corrupt officials ignore a Broncos try. Typical. Definitely not blatant. Those short passes at speed are generally play on. Oh, shut your mouth. That's such a stupid comment. Giovanni Patella says, Enkedia now has more trophies than Arsenal in the last 5 years. Yeah, congratulations to Crystal Palace. They deserved it, but also that's a red card for Dean Henderson, and we all know it. We all know it. Also, why is Omar Mamouche taking the penalty and not Erling Haaland? Makes no sense, but Dean Henderson not getting that red card was just absolutely diabolical. But either way, I remember winning our first trophy back in 2010-11 in the FA Cup against Stoke City, 1-0 Yaya Toure, so I'll never be upset against Crystal Palace, but I'll definitely be annoyed at the officiating of that game too, to be fair. Giovanni says, yeah, absolutely. What on earth was that call? I know, and ridiculous considering VAR exists. Jared Farmoni says, man, Munster looks like he's in like a 70s adult film or something. I said that mainly for the hair and stash. Well, we ride emus, so yeah. But over there at Perth, Jay, I heard that it was only 2 people that were in a war against thousands of emus. How many Australians fought the emus? I'm pretty certain it was only like 2. No, this isn't true. It's not true. 210,000? Over the course of the war, Australia sustained around 210,000 casualties, of which 61,519 were killed or died from their wounds. For a country with a population of under 5 million, these were devastating losses. What? I dead set saw something today that they were online about it being 2 people. That's incredible. That is incredible. The Great Emu War of 1932. It's surprising that so many Americans know about the Emu War, but yet don't know about the country of Australia. The Great Emu War of Australia sounds like a joke, but it was real. Back in 1932, emus were causing chaos in the Western Australian district of Campion. Emus are indigenous to Australia. They're very large birds. We get that. When having a few drinks, one mentioned that we all laughed at her and told her that she'd fallen for some fake news story, but then she got her phone out, went to the Wikipedia page about it, and proceeded to tell us about the Emu War. It's too good. An estimated 20,000 emus realised that the newly cultivated farmland in Campion was a good place for them to breed and find food. I just want to get to how many people actually passed away. That's actually an insane amount, mind you. Summarising the 6 days of war. No way. There's no way 61,000 people died in a 6 days of war against emus. There's no way. I don't believe it. There's no way. What? Why is this telling me that 61,000 people died to fucking emus? There's absolutely 0%. Who's the idiot who's put this online? And you're also an idiot, Jay, for defending this. There's no way that 61,000 people died to emus, bro. There's no chance. We're still here at half time, by the way. 61,000. This guy was smoking. He was smoking crack when he put this out, saying that Australians sustained around 210,000 casualties, of which 61,519 were killed or died from their wounds. Shut your mouth. What a stupid post. That's actually going to get a lot of Americans, though. Did the emus have self-loading ARs? Unbelievable. Yeah, but Skunk will type in How many Australians fought the emus on Google? Oh no, this is on Bing. It's because it's on Bing. Let me go on to Google. On Bing, this is what it gave me. Okay, I'll type the same thing in. How many Australians fought the emus? And it's made 3. It was! I was right. 3 members of the Royal Australian Artillery were deployed to combat. Jay, this is why you stay over in Perth and you're your own damn well country out there. I said 2 people. There were 3 Australian. Who's writing 210,000 casualties and 61,519? It was 3 dudes. It was 3 random Australian copper dudes. Dead set. Well, he's right. He said more than 2. Yeah, but Jay, he's unbelievable. Unbelievable. But yeah, Bing, when you type in how many Australians fought the emus, it said 61,519 people were killed. Just to clarify, that's the entire stadium of, what's the Allianz Stadium capacity? Allianz Stadium capacity, Sydney, is 45,000. So that's like double and a half. Not a double and a half, actually. What's the stadium with 61,000 capacity? Marvel Stadium capacity? Well, to be fair, it's basically double and a bit. It's basically Marvel Stadium. So every single seat in Marvel Stadium plus another 5,000 is what this ridiculous article is trying to tell people died in the Emu War. When, in fact, there was only 3 blokes who fought like 20,000 emus. Oh, dude. Jared Farmoney says, just Gaz and his 2 mates hunting some emus. Just a couple of blokes having a bit of a kick around. 2 people, 3 people, tomatoes, tomatoes, son of a bitch. Tell ya. So 12-4 here to the Broncos, and they're coming out to the second half here. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. What sport is your team on the ladder? What sport is my team on the ladder? My team's sport is rugby league. Reese says, no way a single person died. No, Reese, 61,000. We've all got to come together. Like Australians do come together about the drop bears situation. I think we've got to come together and talk about the 61,000 people that lost their lives in the Great Emu War of Western Australia. 61,000, over 210,000 people injured. Suncor's 52k. I think it's like 54, isn't it? 54 and a half? I think Suncor's 54 and a half. 3 dudes in the whiskey. Yeah, have a crack. I think the Titans stand a chance every day. Doesn't mean they're going to win. Alright, so the Broncos will receive the ball over the second half, and they'll get this ball at the 10 through Jesse Arthurs. And Fletcher Baker brings out at the 20. I lost Rellos in that war. Yeah, God bless you, Nath. You know, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. We need a public holiday to commemorate. I do think we need a public holiday to commemorate the 61,000 people lives lost in the Great Emu War of Western Australia. It's going to say his team is the Titans. I'm sure you know that already. No. I'm a Titans fan? Shit, I didn't even know. Forward tackle now with the Broncos at the 45. A core is 84k. No, I'm aware of what a core is. I was trying to find a stadium that was about 60k. That's the whole point. So Ezra Mam now gives it off to Shibasaki, who will get taken down 35 metres out from the Dragons line. Don't forget, guys, we'll be live with the Titans Raiders right after this. And Gutho should be able to get this one. Does get this one. He'll be taken down to 15. In what sport are they on the ladder? They are in the rugby league ladder. On the rugby league ladder. Look into it. Apparently an action comedy film was made and premiered in 2023 called The Emu War. What's its rating on, like, Rotten Tomatoes? What's its actual rating? Maybe we should react to it in BKRtravel. Great Emu War. It's a time us Australians will never forget. If you're from Fiji or Tonga or Samoa or New Zealand, you don't know about the Great Emu War. We lost 61,000 men that day. Over across 6 days, sorry. Probably shit because it's a piss take. Yeah, true. What is Dude Where's My Car ranked on, like, Hot Tomato? I only see IMDb rating of 4.2. What's the IMDb rating for Dude, Where's My Car? I guarantee it's going to be like a 2. It's going to be like 2. Even though it's a great, funny movie, but it's going to be like 2. Or Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. That's a classic. Oh! That's going to be a knock on here from the Broncos, and the Dragons get the ball at the 45. That's going to be the Dragons ball at the 45. A mistake. A mistake. Jared, the amount of times I've watched movies with a 3 or 4 rating and loved it. Oh, dude, I don't look at reviews. I don't care for reviews. I make my own decision up. Jared Furman says 5.5 for Dude, Where's My Car? So, okay, at least that's higher. What about Harold and Kumar Goes to White Castle? Dude, White Castle's actually so good, man. I don't care. If you insult White Castle, you're insulting me, and I don't like you. Just like Andrew, who insults Chipotle. Don't ever insult Chipotle around me, or you get time out. You insult Chipotle, we aren't friends. No. Oh! Damn it, Cook rocked in the tackle, and it's a penalty. Penalty of the Dragons. What are they trying to make up for the calls in the first half? It's all subjective. You love what you love. For example, I'd give every horror movie a 0 because I don't like horror movies. I don't want anything to do with horror movies. The world is scary enough that I don't want to watch horror movies. But a lot of people really love horror movies. I don't know why you're into it. How is that a high tackle, bro? Have they penalised Reynolds? Reynolds is like 5'0". How have they called it a high tackle? The guy hit him on the chest. We need a forward pass try. Well, you've just been given a massive leg up with that call because that was nowhere close to a high tackle there from Adam Reynolds. Not even close. Second tackle now, 18 metres out. Zach says, how are we, mate? Yeah, wish that the officials were a bit better in this game. But, you know, what can we do? You know, what can we do? Unfortunately, this is the U's in the old NR of the L. Out the back now. Then again, same with referees in football too. Can't call red cards when necessary. But that's going to be a lost ball there from the Dragons, and Broncos will get the ball to 5. Oh no, it's going to be a strip. Oh, I think the Dragons have been let back into this game based off of the fact that everyone knows it was a forward pass in the first half. Damn, how did Kumar go to White Castle? 7 IMDb and 74% Rotten Tomatoes. Damn, that's actually not bad considering it's a stoner movie. Final Destination movies are kicked? I don't even know what that means. They're going for the 2? Why? Why are you going for the 2? Why are you going for the 2 here? I get you're going to make it a 6-point game, but you're 10 metres out. Why? You say try need nature, but they've decided to go for the 2 here to make it a 6-point game. And that's also a loose carry. That wasn't a strip there. Whoever decided to go for the 2 here is outrageous. This game is so diabolically officiated, it's not funny. Like, there's no way that you're telling me that that was a strip. Oh, this game is just so rough to watch, dude. This game is so rough to watch. I really just don't understand how this is happening. Final Destination, still not into, like, I don't like watching people die. I'm just not into watching people die. I watched Gladiator 2 yesterday, not very good. Why would you make a sequel to such a great first movie? I agree. Love Gladiator, and I know, I guess you watch people die in that, but that's more of a historical representation, in a way. You know, gladiators back in the day in Rome and whatnot. I guess it's just like, yeah, those thriller/horrors, I'm not in for like the scary jump scenes and the blood and not for me. Brimoto 1, Foster 6, and Jalen 14. Love it. Love it. I'm enjoying looking at IMDb ratings in this game because of the officiating. Yeah, the officiating in this game is terrible. Von P says that's the World War I stat. What's the World War I stat? What are you talking about? So, Luchan Leilua, he'll get his ball out here to the 25, second tackle. NRL referees are the best, I remember. That's a great commenter. So, third tackle of the Dragons. At least it's only a 6-point game now. Hey, well, the Broncos got 6 points they shouldn't have, whilst the Dragons got 2 points they shouldn't have. So, it's still 4 points advantage of the Bronx. 61k Australian side. Thank you, Von P. But the thing is that when I typed in on Bing, that's what it gave me for the Emu War. So you can understand how I got confused. But, well, I didn't get confused. I didn't think the 61k was legit. But that's what it gave me on Bing. That's why you should never use Bing, guys. Don't ever use Bing. Don't use Chandler Bing. Never use Chandler Bing. So Broncos now taking up the 20. Daniel says they may as well play touch footy the way these refs go on. Yeah, no, these refs are absolutely diabolical, mate, in every single capacity of the word diabolical. Every single ability, frustration, and tenor of the word diabolical. Third tackle for the Broncos at the 33. The highlight of this game for me has been the discussion of the Emu War. Yeah, well, unfortunately, we did find out that 61,000, brave Australian men and women, unfortunately lost their lives to the emus in the 1930s, buddy. You know, tragic times for the country of Australia. And for any Australians who actually don't know, it was just 3 random dudes who decided to chuck out the whiskey and have a crack at 20,000 emus. 3 dudes. And now the whole country of Australia gets lumped in with their problems with emus. So the Dragons get the ball 1 metre out. Saxons, have you ever seen a person using Bing? Yeah, unfortunately, I just used it. So Val Holmes, and that was my first and last time ever. Skunkle says, it sounds to me while watching Man play A. Skunkle, I know you tuned into this stream late, but you do realise we roasted that man for the first half an hour of this game. You're a bit late to the party, my friend. Touch footy is a little too dangerous, don't you think? Touch footy is very dangerous for rugby league. 988 emus went down, apparently. Mate, is it... You know, I wonder if the emus commemorate that war as well. Like, do they get together every time in the to represent the day? It was a 6-day war. It's a long war. It's a long war, mate. Using Bing on Mozilla Firefox. Mozilla Firefox? What is that? What is Mozilla Firefox? Oh, that's like another search engine, isn't it? James, go to the Dragons. Third tackle now for the Broncos at the halfway point. No, Tony Staggs keeps going. Third tackle at the 40. 30 minutes to go here of the game, guys. Hit that like button and subscribe. Don't forget to go subscribe to our BKRtravel channel, where we are going to commemorate the loss of 61,000 Australian men and women during the Emu War this week. Sal One Cubbo taking down here at the 20. Said there were 57,000 bounties claimed. Oh, what? What are you talking about? Fit tackle now. Oh, he's lost the ball. He's lost the ball. Oh, they're going to call penalty? No. No, 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 no. No, referee. Oh, Jared Sutton, get a grip. Get a grip, Jared. He's going to bin him too. Jared Sutton, stop it. It's a bin too. That's on you, Jared Sutton. That's on you. I don't think that was a penalty in the first place. But the original penalty is up for debate, Jerry Voss! Far out. The commentators are saying the original penalty is up for debate, and then he gets binned for not being back 10 at the time. And this game is just gone. This game is gone. This game, you can't enjoy this game. The officiating is so bad. The officiating is so awful. I don't know what to do. How do you call this a legitimate game at this point? How do you call this a legitimate game at this point, bro? And they wonder why people hate the Broncos. It's not the Broncos' fault. Like, how is that on the Dragons, that penalty? Why is it a penalty against the Dragons? How is it a penalty against the Dragons? But it's like... And they're going to take the 2, so now it's 14-6. So 30 minutes to go. Thumbs up, subscribe. This game's gone. Yeah, Andrew Voss saying this is so controversial. It is ridiculously controversial. But it's not the Broncos' fault. It's the officiating fault. This happens all over the time. I understand you don't like the Broncos, Sam, but like this is an overall game issue, and it's like NRL to come out and say that we're the problem and the fans are the issue, and everybody watching, the coaches, the fans, the media, it's everybody else's fault. It's not the officials. They hold no accountability. fuck you. Because at the end of the day, we're just trying to enjoy the game of rugby league. Truly, we're just trying to enjoy the game. But the games get ruined because you hold zero accountability to your officials. None of them get dropped. They're always there. If they get dropped for 1 week to reserve grade, guess what? They're back the next week and then they're there for the rest of the season. There's no accountability. We never get changes in refs. We've had the same bunch of refs for years and years and years now. We've complained for years and years and years now. Obviously, there is an issue with your officials. It is not on the fans. It is not on the coaches. It is not on the fact that the players are complaining about it. And it is also not on the fact that everyone is complaining about it. It is on you as an organisation to sort this shit out. It's not just perspective based in regards to the forward pass. That's a forward pass. And that's a knock-on for the Broncos. Dragons ball to 45. If you think I'm wrong here, let me know in the chat. Because we are the ones who are made out to be the victims, the villains of the story. They fine coaches. Todd Payton has just been threatened that the next time he speaks negatively about the referees, he's getting like a massive fine. Like, why? Why are people not allowed to talk about him? You know, people are allowed to talk about the coaches and having them sacked. You know, people are allowed to talk about the players and having them sacked. People are allowed to talk about everyone and having them sacked. But when it comes to the officials, you're never allowed to criticise them. Otherwise, it's your fault. You're the villain, not them. And that's the issue. Mo's with a $5 donation. Appreciate you, Mo. Thank you very much, brother. Says, I'm up here on Los Angeles, and this game is a shit show because the ref is an idiot. Correct, bro. And I hate sitting here. Gutho will score out of the post. Out of nowhere, with a man in the bin, they're actually going to score, and they're going to bring this game within 2 points because it's 14-10 with the kid to come and 14-12 any moment now. But you're right, Mo. You're right. So the Dragons will score. And Los Angeles, what the time there would be awful right now. Los Angeles time. Yeah, 10:15 is not bad. 10:15 p.m. is not bad, actually. That's a good time. Well, it's not good, but it's better than what you'd expect. Oh, man. I hate sitting here and just complaining about officials. I'd rather just enjoy the game. But it's so overwhelming in regards to the game. It takes over the game. We're talking about meat in the chat. Hold on, what's happening here? Emu tastes yum, just don't eat much of it. It's a bit rich. So obviously I've been traveling around, you know, India and Thailand. I've been to America and all that sort of stuff. Fiji and all the likes. I want to, on another, I want to organise like an actual internal Australian trip. I'd love to experience more of my own country as well. You know, which would be great. But also, I don't know how the Wi-Fi would go. I would have to do that like in the off-season. I couldn't do it when streaming because I just don't know that Wi-Fi will hold up in rural Australia. Whilst in rural India or rural Thailand, you're still going to find... Oh, but not rural Thailand. But a lot of the places in India, you'll still find internet. That tackle from Holmes is a little too rough. Should be a Broncos penalty. So Val Holmes will make this a 14-12 game any moment now. Someone says, what's been the worst meal you've had since travelling? Indian McDonald's in Delhi. Because I got sick from it for like 4 days, 5 days. Sundo, you deserve this. And you know you deserve this. You know you deserve this. You know you deserve it. You know you deserve it, mate. Mo says, I'm pretty sure the ref will find a way to infuriate me more by the time the game is done. So, Mo, are you a Dragons fan? Are you a new fan of the game? Or are you betting on the game? Gary says, emu is very healthy meat and very popular in Australia. I'll certainly try it when I'm over there. I still haven't had kangaroo meat. I would have liked to have tried buffalo meat in India, but I didn't get a chance to because I didn't go south. But I haven't tried kangaroo meat yet. I hear it's really tough. What else haven't I tried? Emu meat. And drop bear meat. Drop bear meat is very important. Dragons fan, but the calls have been bad against, not games. I don't know what that means. But if you say like the calls have been bad against everyone, is that what you're saying? If that's the case, and yes. Yeah, no, this isn't just a Broncos and Dragons thing. This is an overall game thing. And also, especially in this game too, yeah, you have seen some pretty bad calls against both teams. The most significant bad calls have come against the Dragons and for the Broncos, but that doesn't take away from the fact that the Dragons have also received some pretty good calls from some really awful officiating. So it's just so hard because you don't want to talk about this. You want to talk about the playing. You want to talk about the fact that it's 14-12 right now. The Dragons score with a man in the bin. Like, that's what you want to be focusing on, but it's so hard to separate from that to get to this, because you got to talk about the previous part in the game that's led to this, and that's been just controversial all the way throughout. Gary says, drop bear meat. Yeah, drop bear meat. You got to be careful of it. You know, it's poisonous. But they do say that certain drop bears are like elixirs. You know, when you have the drop bear meat, it's like it sustains your life for longer. It's like, you know, in Harry Potter with that the Philosopher's Stone thing. You know how it like prolongs the life. That's what not koala. That's what drop bear meat helps you out with. So yeah, you got to be really careful of it, because there's some that are good. It's like a 2% good, but 98% bad. You got to be very careful which one you choose. Drop bear meat carries chlamydia. That's coming from a New Zealander, and is incorrect. That is incorrect, Skunkle. Actually has AIDS. First tackle of the Dragons to the 20. Drop bear meat is tender, Gary. Very tender. But you got to be hopeful for that 2% to extend your life, or otherwise you die. So second tackle, they get it off to Moses Sully, and Sully will get the ball to the 30. And third tackle, Jaden Stewart still in the bin. DB says, yo, LOD. Wombat meat. Is wombat meat a thing? I actually don't know. Is wombat meat an actual thing? 3.5 minutes left here at the bin. Just a question, would you ever create Discord to stream these games? Very intriguing and interesting way to try and say show the game. No, bro. Like, at the end of the day, these games, these streams are more so to just interact and to understand what's going on, and hopefully you have the ability to watch it. Otherwise, I'll let you know what's going on and commentating it. Maybe we could create the Discord where the game can be played and whatnot, but then again, that's really going against... I wouldn't want to mess with the NRL, man. Like, I just wouldn't want to kind of go around that, even though it's very difficult to catch on. It's like some people do. It's just not my kind of thing. If someone else wants to do a Discord thing and do that, then sure, but for me, not really. Fit tackle, but it's a very interesting way of changing it around. We don't really get that too much. Jay says, put up a mirror behind you. Yeah, they were the days, man. They were the days when it would always be the mirror, or put some sunglasses on and blah, blah, blah. Dragons get the ball here. No way. Dragons the 30, the 40, the 45, the 50. They may score again here. Little gets through. Ezra Mam, and that's going to be a try. Take that one, Ezra Mam, you dog. Booshka. Dragons try time. 16-14 with the kick to come to the Dragons. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. So it's not legal on Discord, D. But it's just about not letting anybody know about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want the NRL to find out about it. But it's never legal to show the game elsewhere as well. But the Dragons will score 16-14 with the kick to come. I tipped the Broncos here. I would actually rather go... I'm perfect on my tips so far this week. I'm 5 from 5 on my tips. This would be 6 from 6 if I get it. But at the end of the day, there's been so many controversial calls, and I love watching Ezra Mam, of all players, miss the tackle there. I love watching Ezra Mam, of all players, miss the tackle there. And by the way, the Dragons have scored two tries with a man in the bin. The Broncos scored the two points, while the man in the bin for the Dragons. The Dragons have scored twice with a man in the bin. And that is huge. And this is, Jacob Little is, I still don't understand why Damien Cook is the guy that got the job. I think that he's the better hooker. I think Damien Cook 5 years ago was one of the better hookers in the game. But this isn't 2020, 2021 anymore. Excuse me, Brocky Sports. I'm going to have to clarify here. You said try time. That's incorrect. It's try time, bing bong, mudda bish. You know it, Brocky. This is your job, Brocky. This is your job. I understand what you messaged me. But you got to fire up, you got to distract yourself, you got to go bush, try time, bing bong, mudda, bish. That's what you got to do. Brocky Sports with a $3 dude donation says back to the beat. Back to the beat. Oh, only people who know like Brisbane nightlife will know why that's funny. Thank you very much for the $3 dude donation there, Brocky. Val Holmes will slap it in. Get those buddy jazz hands going here. It's 18-14 for the Dragons. They've scored twice with a man in the bin. Sergeant says bonus points a little for beating Mam at the end. Yeah, no, it's good. It's very good. We never play golf on a Sunday afternoon. It's cursed. Well, To be fair, you are playing golf right now, but the issue is, though, in this sport, Olivia, it's the highest score wins, not the lowest score wins. I think that's the problem. Maybe the Broncos have come into this game thinking the lowest score is the one that wins, and that is their biggest issue here. That is the biggest issue. Mr. Boy says, looks like the Dragons locked in, maybe because they realised they were getting a very harsh, rough end of the stick by the officials, and and they're like, you know what, screw this, and just turned it around. Second tackle now for the Dragons at the 20. Good, not golf. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Yeah, actually, we beat you guys on Sunday afternoon at Suncorp last year, didn't we? Exactly right, Brocky. Try jumping bomb on a beach. Jared Butmoney says it should be a 6-point try just because he beat Mam. But he did score 6 points. Mate, I put anytime try on Little every week. He pays $6 every week. It's pretty good odds. Fit tackler at the 45. 20 minutes to go. Hit the game, guys. Hit that like button and subscribe. Don't forget, if you dislike me, feel free to join the Titans vs. Raiders stream after this, because my team's probably going to lose, as we always do. So feel free to join the stream, and we'll sing Kumbaya together as I just get insulted. Broggy says, no, it's coming just some other shit. So he says, we have 30 minutes to get your head in the game, lad. We need you. You do need to get your head in the game, Broggy. You know? Very integral. Very integral stuff, buddy. Otherwise, you might be seeing it. You might be seeing a yellow card. You might see a yellow card. You need to get your head in the game, buddy. Payne Haas after Adam Reynolds. Reynolds after Ezra Mam. Mam's away. Not this piece of shit. And they will get it off. And the Broncos may score here. Damien Cook will. Tony Staggs will score. And the Broncos will go back to 18-18 with a get to come here. And it's funny that they've scored when the player from the bin has come back onto the field. But it's 18-18 with a get to come. No problem with Tony Staggs scoring. Good on you, Broncos. Ezra Mam, you can end a dick. But Tony Staggs, well done on scoring a try right next to the post. So it is 18-18 with a get to come. And the Broncos should take back the league any moment now. If you're a Broncos fan, I'm never celebrating Ezra Mam doing anything good. But good work to Tony Staggs. This is actually a well-worked try there. Adam Reynolds with a nice pass there to Wanker, but then Tony Staggs following up. I'm glad that old mate decided to pass right rather than left, because it would have been a forward pass otherwise, which would have been a try for the Broncos anyway. But the pass to the right was obviously backwards, so it was a good play there for the Broncos to score right next to the post. Tackling is atrocious. Yeah, which is interesting considering their first half statistics for the Dragons. Their tackling was actually really good. They're actually 89.46%, which isn't as good as the first half. They've missed quite a few tackles in the second half compared to the first. They're 89.46%, which is 263 tackles made for 18 missed tackles and 13 ineffective, which is a significant drop-off from the first half. The Broncos have improved Actually, no, the Broncos have regressed as well defensively. So the Dragons were at 92%, the Broncos were at 87.3%, they've gone down 1%, and the Dragons have gone down by 3%. So second half defensively hasn't been good for either of these two teams. Stag's my favourite movie star, Dad says. And Reynolds will get the kick. So 20-18 here with 18 minutes to go of the game. Super surprising that the Dragons were able to score 2 converted tries when the Dragons had a player in the bin. But the Broncos didn't score a try, but then proceed to score within the first minute of it being 13-13. Crazy that they found this space, considering that was when the player was on the field and was 13-13. Damien Cook actually did pretty well to chase that down, but Staggs was always going to get there. Gary says, guys, is there an app for booking campsites on the East Coast? My youngest is useless in sorting campsites for us, but need to start booking them. Yes, I was looking at it when I was going to Newcastle last year when I was driving down. There is an app. I can't think of the name though. I don't have it on my phone, but there is an app for like campsite usage and also free campsites. It actually shows you like pictures and stuff of different campsites along the East Coast. Someone here may know of it. Please comment in the chat if you do, but there is an app for like campsite usage and stuff on the East Coast of Australia and all over Australia. I do think it's like Campmate. I don't think that's the one, but it might be something anyway. So Payne Haas rolls it down, and they go to the left, hip camp. But anyway, there is something. 4 tackle here at the 50. It might be Campmate. It might be. It's like a green logo. It's like a green logo. Daniel says the score is the year the Earth started going to shite. No, I'd say really it was when Kobe died that everything started going to shit, to be fair. I think 2018, 2019 was still fine. Like, I was still enjoying. It just felt a lot less tense back then. I think 2020 is when the world really went to shit. Wiki camps, that might be the one. That might be the one there. Maybe. So Jaden Sewer now, he'll bring this ball out to the 40. He'll bring the ball out here to the 40. 43 metres away from the line. Little gives it off to David Clemmer. And Clemmer on fit tackle. He'll be just past the halfway point. 16 minutes to go here of the game. Only camps. Yeah, that's something you're into, isn't it, Brenton? Isn't it? Alright, so Flanagan down into the corner. That's an awful kick, dude. That's an awful kick that gives a 7-tackle set. I think it might be wiki camps, but I can't remember. We're going to lose today because your mate is going to the game. Who's my mate? Who's my mate? Brogy Sports, 2020 ruined everyone's attention span. Yeah, well, 2020 is what started our streams. If it wasn't for 2020, I probably would have been still doing... I probably would have gone away from it, but I would have found something else. But 2020 was the reason we started streaming, live streaming, because that was the only thing we could do. Second tackle now here at the 45. Dude, those streams back then would have been awful to watch. That would have been so awkward and just awful. So Paddy Carrigan at the 40. And now at the 30 on 4 tackle. It's all started on the first day of 2000 when they shrunk the Big Mac. Did they really? Oh, Shibasaki nearly taken down, or nearly gets the ball away and taken down 13 minutes out. Fit tackle. And they knock it back here. The Broncos. Tony stacked. He's over the sideline. That's not gone regardless. It's going to be Dragons ball here at the 10. Doesn't go over the dead ball. Oh, you're talking about Dane. Oh, yeah, who gives a shit? Alright, so 15 minutes to go here of the game. It's 10 metres out for the Dragons. Me and my gang still hate Rudy Gobert for shutting the league down. Yeah, like, it would have happened anyway, but yeah, sure. Like, yeah. He was kind of... Yeah, he got the blame for it. It would have happened anyway. I thought he was streaming since 2017. I was creating content since 2015. I was creating NRL content since 2016, but I didn't really stream. Maybe I streamed like one game or maybe once or twice across a couple of years, but not too consistently. Mo says, I fear I will end with a show tonight. Shit, being a Saints fan is like being a glutton for punishment. Mate, I'm a Titans fan. I know what you mean. So, Gutho now. I've got to deal with my team after you. Don't worry. Out of the left-hand side here, King Tungia will go himself, and Ricky will miss a tackle. That's typical Ricky. That's a penalty. That's a 6 again at very least. No, apparently not. Gutho keeps going here. They got to the left. They got numbers. Val Holmes away here. Back on the inside. Why is Damien Cook stepping there? Oh, Flanagan, sorry. I don't even know why he tried to step. And they're going to pass the ball out to the right-hand side. Dragons! Booshka! True time for Tyrell Sloan. 22-20 with the kick to come. Deary me. What a try that was. The Dragons will score. And it is 22-20 with the kick to come. 13 minutes to go here the game. Gutho was the one who really initiated all of this. Good work from Val. Flanagan should just keep running straight there, in my opinion. He had the line open, but he just decided to go to the right and accidentally slip over. But the Dragons, and once they get this ball out right, they score on the wing. And tough kick here from the wing, but they are up 22-20 with 13 minutes to go here at the game. Rudy doesn't play with the Suns. Skunkle Suns aren't in the playoffs, mate. Now, that is correct. They are definitely not. What is this Broncos team? Teacher's pet is what I'll answer you to. Teacher's pet is what I will give you myself. But also, what is this Dragons team? What is the Broncos team or Dragons team? This is why I said I tipped the Broncos pre-game, but I'm never convinced by either. So 12 minutes to go of the game. Let me know in the chat. Comment in the chat right now. Do you think the Dragons hold this one out, or do you think the Broncos find a way to score? Do you think there's still plenty of tries left in this game? Let me know in the comment section. Mitchell says, welcome to the club, mate. Mitchell is a Tigers fan, so myself, him, and you understand. I can't even see Helen's comment. Skuggle said, you shut up, Helen. Where's Helen's comment? Is Helen telling me to shut up, or is she telling you to shut up? I can't even see a comment. Some comments I just don't see, I don't know why. So Val Holmes for the conversion from the right-hand side. Zach Hewis is a Storm fan, I understand too. You're getting timed out for a minute for even thinking that you're even remotely involved in that conversation. Alright, so 12 minutes to go here of the game. Val Holmes will slot it over a double act. Oh, baby. That is 24-20. And the Dragons lead with 12 minutes to go here of the game. Do not forget, we are live at the Titans Raiders right after this from GIO Stadium in Canberra. Canberra. So this is up the Dragons. Dasmate says, Helen's a Perth Bears fan for sure. So is Helen telling me to shut up, or is she telling Skunkle to shut up, or who is she telling to shut up? I want to know. I want to know if she's telling me shut up. Natalia says, are you going to be live for the Raiders vs Titans? No way. No way. I just speak about it. Did just speak about it. Skidamedi says, my phone's at 2% and lost. Sounds like the brain capacity of the referees in this game. So first tackle now for the Dragons, 18 metres out from their own line. Titans are a gun of a team. Excited for that one. Yeah? Yeah, they're a gun of a team, are they? Take that sarcasm, Muddabish. Second tackle here for the Dragons, and they'll get this ball to the 35. You wish I don't see through that shit, mate. I'm the one who did that, by the way, Jerome. Just to let you know. I don't usually do timeouts. I'm the one who timed you out there, because I know exactly what you're trying to do. Alright, third tackle here at the 40. 11:20 to go here of the game. It's going to be Jacob Little off to Damien Cook. And Damien Cook will get this ball inside the attacking half on fifth tackle. But yes, Natalia, of course, I'll be live for the Raiders vs Titans after this. Alright, they kick this ball down. Flanagan from halfway. And it's going to be Jesse Arthurs who grabs it. And he's going to bring this ball back to the 20. Is Arthurs playing fullback right now? Selwyn Copper been shifted? I feel like Copper may have been shifted. Oh, Selwyn Copper crunched there, taken to 35, second tackle. Second tackle now. And Shibasaki, wow. So Dragons' completion rate has been, what, 91%, did they say? Yeah, 91%. Oh, jeez. Lucky for the Broncos there, they kicked the ball. All right, Paddy Carrigan now. Favorite Titans jersey? It would be the original with the big Jetstar logo. Alright, so the Dragons will let the ball bounce, and it will be Gutho who grabs it at the 10, and Dragons... Wait, what are they calling? Oh, penalty to the Dragons. They're saying offside from the kick. 10 minutes to go with the game. Hit that like button and subscribe, guys. Don't forget to go check out BKRtravel, our second channel, which is all travel content. 10 minutes to go, and it's 24-20 to the Dragons. Tasmate says, might want to listen to Peter and change the name to the Brisbane Boomerangs. Hey, maybe that could get them going. Maybe that could get them going. Just remember, the Broncos were in the top 3 a few weeks ago. Now they are on the brink of 9th place because one of the Tigers or Rabbitohs will go above them today. If it's a draw, both of them do. Alright. And the Dragons will jump up into like 9th or 10th. That's a penalty. Well, Piakura can't just lie there. He can't just lie there. So completion rate, 91% for the Dragons, 72% here for the Broncos. 9 minutes and 14 seconds to go here of the game. They go out to the left. It's Blake Laurie. And Laurie with a decent run to the 45 on the Broncos side of the field. North might actually win a game. No, I don't believe you. It's not possible. King Tagia out to Val Holmes. Val Holmes goes himself. He will get this ball to the 30. Good crunching tackle by there by Tony Staggs. Staggs on fourth tackle there for the Dragons. King Tagia. And, oof, it's close to a high tackle. And if you got a penalty, you'd go for the 2 every day of the week. Actually, would they be the same amount of tries scored? And good kick! Oh, good take by Jesse Arthurs. They're both going up for the ball, so it's not a penalty. It's Richmond. Oh, it's against Richmond. I'm going to have a look at that score quickly here. 77-66. Oh, yeah, against Richmond. Who the Suns did lose to be fair, Daz. They did technically lose to them. I couldn't believe Essendon though yesterday. Also, Port Adelaide getting absolutely stomped at home was just disgraceful to watch by the almighty Catters. Nearly 100 points at home is crazy. Same day as the Essendon result. Broncos here. They give this ball off. They're 40 metres away from their own line here. Well, no, that's a tackle. Now Dean Marron's taking it at the 42, even though the referee should have called tackle earlier. If the Lions lose to the D's, does that mean the Suns go top? Not that they'll lose to the D's. It's fit tackle. What are you doing? What are you running it on last through Paddy Carrigan for? They get the offload to Payne Haas, and that's a knock on. I don't know what the Broncos were aiming to do on that situation. I'm having an attack. I'm having a mental attack at what I've just witnessed. What are you doing? Why are you giving the ball to Paddy Carrigan on fit tackle to run the ball up the middle? Luckily, he got the offload away, but why are you giving the ball to a prop on last tackle to run the ball up the middle? Luckily, he got the offload away, but regardless, they actually lost 5 metres from that offload. And then was a knock-on from Stags. 7 minutes to go here in the game. Dragons still lead by 4. Jacob Little. He goes to the right. Then Jack DeBellin. He'll be at the halfway point. I've seen some bloke from the West Coast passed away. Oh, you're talking about Selwood. Yeah, unfortunate, man. God bless him. So third tackle here for the Dragons at the 45. No, sorry, second tackle. 6 again. Forget that. 6 again. So first tackle here for the Dragons at the 33. You'd have to say if the Dragons score now and convert. Actually, if the Dragons should score a try right now, they'd probably ice the game. The game is probably over if the Dragons do score right now. Out to Cook. Cook then. Here's a chance. Game over. Game over. Game over. Oh! Broncos stop the try to knock on. So it'll be Dragons ball here at the 18. It was a 3-on-0 out there, basically. 3-on-1. 2-on-0 if the ball had landed, but Dean Mariner puts his hand out and stops it. So that will be a knock-on here for the Broncos. Never too weak to speak, lads. Never too weak to speak. 6 minutes to go here in the game. All right, so Dragons will be 20 out. Broncos lucky the game wasn't over right then and there. And back on the inside. There's the game, baby. There's the game. And the Dragons will go Bushka. Welcome back, Ezra, man. Hope you enjoyed this big fat L on your forehead. 28-20 with a kick to come. The Drags will go over with 5.5 minutes to go of the game. I cannot see the Broncos come back from this one now. Enjoy this one, Ezra. Cheers to you, buddy. Probably shouldn't be saying cheers, actually. Sunday says, let's go. Call Strike says, yes. Call Strike's Dragons got this. Well, you'd hope so. They're up 28-20 with 5 minutes to go. Call Strike says, suck it, Ben. Why? Ben's not playing. Ben Hunt is not in the game, Call Strike. I don't understand how many times. We've told you this multiple times now. Fraud alert for the Broncos. Broncos aren't a fraud alert because they've lost like 5 of their last 6 games. They're the opposite to Cronulla. Cronulla have won 5 of their last 6 games. The Broncos have lost 5 of their last 6 games. Hey, your 13 plus is potentially on here, Nate. Your 13, we get 10% by the way. Your 13 plus is actually potentially on. If the Dragons can score in the next 4.5 minutes a try, yes, maybe on. Oh, you've just commented that now. Yeah, I didn't see you comment until just now. I know, but I just don't like Ben Hunt. Yeah, but like, it makes no sense to be insulting him here. He's not playing. Cheers, K. I love a black screen for $40 a month. $40 a month in Australia is pretty crazy. I get why I have to pay $40 a month on watchnrl.com overseas, but like for you guys to pay it is just crazy. These both teams are trash anyway, to be honest. Lucky if any one of them make playoffs. Agreed. I still think surely the Broncos make the top 8. Long term, surely they've got the team there. Maybe when they've got Hunt, Ezra, Wanker, and Adam Reynolds, and maybe surely. But like, there's organisational issues rather than coaching issues. Will you be live at the British and Irish Lions tour of Australia? Probably not, man. No one in Australia really cares. Maybe, we'll see. Like, I care about it, but I don't know how much I care about it enough to stream it. That's more of a thing that the English and the UK gets around over Australia. No Jay into him. Nate J into him. I think Moses is injured right now, Ben. You would hope so when they make finals and go to this. Well, they were like top 4 a couple of weeks ago. They will knock it back, but the Broncos will get the ball at the 50. Okay, you had to score basically this set if you got a chance. We have top 5 best team on paper, but bottom 10 defense. Panthers better team on paper. Storm better team on paper. Sharks better team on paper. Oh, Dragon slipped over. Oh, here we go. Wait a second. There's a couple of 1 second. So Broncos now 13 metres out from the line. Adam Reynolds gives it off to Paddy Carrigan. Carrigan to Ezra Mann. Flicks it across. Jesse Arthurs. Oh, we've seen his full-on ass come out everywhere, but he's scored a try. He's scored a try. So it is going to be a chance for the Broncos again. 30-24 here to the Dragons with 3 minutes to go of the game. The Broncos will score through Jesse Arthurs. We've seen the full-on moon just then. Skidamini says, nice bum. That's a little bit gay, but sure. Kendrick Hastings says, go the Dragons. Well, they're not home just yet, mate. The Broncos have just scored out in the wing. And that's poor defense there from Tyrell Sloan, who rushes up. He does get that, but this is a big kick, because if he gets the conversion here from the sideline, it would be a 4-point game, meaning they can win on the next play. If they don't get the kick, the pressure is on the kicker. Oh, geez, they have... That's a full-blown moon there. Surely Dragons don't choke this. 4 pass, gee whiz. Really? I didn't even see. I didn't notice. Adam Reynolds will get the kick, so it's a 4-point game. Here we go. Here we go. 2 minutes 53 to go to the game, guys. 30-26 here to the Dragons. 2 minutes 50 to go. The Dragons will kick it as far as they possibly can. Hit that like button, guys. Subscribe if you're new around here. Do not forget that we do have the Titans versus Raiders right after this from Canberra. I probably won't do the Tigers versus Rabbitohs, but we will be definitely live for the Titans versus the Raiders. Let's finish this one off here with a bang. Dragons haven't won this one just yet. Comment in the chat right now. I want you to get in the comment section immediately. Comment who you think wins. Do the Dragons hold out this 4-point lead, or do the Broncos find a way to score and send us to extra time, or to score and win the game? All right, why slow-mo the mooning? Yeah, it was really interesting that they were slow-mowing the mooing. Mooing? Jeez, slow-mowing the mooning. That was a very big tongue twister. All right, 2 minutes and 26 to go here. 4-point lead for the Dragons. You can't throw this one away, Dragons. Don't know why they're showing Reece Walsh on the sideline, but sure. The Broncos will get the ball in the end goal. This is their last full set. They will get this full set and maybe 2 tackles. Oh, penalty to the Broncos. Dragons, what are you doing? What are you doing? A penalty to the Broncos. What are you holding down? That's crazy. You give away a penalty there, Dragons. On the second tackle. All right, this is definitely your last full set, Dragons. If you lose this from here, I can't believe you threw it away. I can't believe it if you do. First tackle now for the Broncos at the 35. But then again, if the Broncos win this from here, I'm perfect on my tip, 6 from 6. So I'm in a bit of a win-win situation here. So Paddy Carrigan off to Payne Haas, and Payne Haas, as long as Ezra Mam, the wanker, doesn't score. Second tackle here, 25 metres out. A minute 33 to go here of the game. They go out to the left. Pakes to the left to Adam Reynolds. And now Hetherington is 15 metres out from the line. Third tackle. Time off. Damien Cook's going to have to come off the field. He's going for HIA for sure. They need to score this set. Thank you, Skunkle. Captain Obvious. So third tackle here, 15 metres out. Minute 21 to go. They might not even get 1 tackle. Like this may be their complete last opportunity. If they don't score, they lose. Wow, Skunkle, you're really on top of it today. That is really impressive stuff. That's a head clash there from Damien Cook and Jack DeBellin. Oh, Hamish Stewart, sorry. So Damien Cook will have to come off the field here. The Broncos will still have 2 tackles. They're 15 out, but I just can't believe it. I'm really intrigued by Skunkle's intelligence. He said if they don't score, they lose. Really good stuff there, Skunkle, from you, mate. Really intriguing. Well done. But you know what this is a benefit to? Touch wood. Damien Cook's all right. But the benefit is the Dragons get a chance to set their defense, their structure, and the players have all had a bit of a breather. The Dragons hold them out, they win. That is correct, Skunkle. If the Dragons do hold them out, they do win this game. So Payne Haas! Payne Haas! Payne Haas! Oh my gosh, how has he not scored there? The scramble defense from the Dragons, he's lost the ball. He's lost the ball! I'd challenge that with the Broncos, but I think you might have just lost the game. How have the Dragons stopped Payne Haas from scoring that? They're going to challenge this call. If this is a penalty, the Broncos will get a whole fresh set. I can't believe the Dragons stopped the Payne Haas from scoring under the post, because then that would have been a guaranteed win for the Bronx. They're not missing it from there. All right, so let's see how Payne Haas comes up with it here. Gutho's hands on the ball. That's going to be a strip. Yep, that's going to be ruck interference. It's going to be a penalty to the Bronx. All right, full set. Dragons, you've got to hold him out at the side. It's definitely a penalty. It's definitely a penalty. Mo says I may really end up with that stroke. Well, it's a penalty here to the Broncos. 10 metres away here from the line. They can't go for 2 because they need 4 points. If they get a try and they don't convert, we got extra time. If they get a try and they do convert, they win the game, the Broncos. Here we go. Hit that like button and subscribe, guys. The Broncos with the ball, 10 away. Paddy Carrigan, they're going to get a full set of 6. Are you a line, Skunkle? Because they did get another chance. All right, first tackle, 3 out. They go to the left. Adam Reynolds here. It's do or die right now for the Bronx. Second tackle, 7 metres away from the line. 50 seconds to go here of the game. Piakura rolls it back. They give it to Pakes. Pakes then to Payne Haas. Payne Haas goes at himself. Crunch down 5 metres away. Third tackle, 40 seconds to go here of the game. 40 seconds to go here of the game. They roll it back. Pakes. He goes short ball. Hetherington. You've got to just score out wide. Who cares about scoring out of the post here, Broncos? Just score out wide if you have to. They flick it out to Adam Reynolds. Adam Reynolds, he can't get anything going. He gives that ball to Payne Haas. It's 4 tackle here. 20 seconds to go to the game. They'll still get another tackle after this. Just play through it. Payne Haas still with the ball. You don't need to go crazy right now. 15 out, 5th tackle. The game comes down to this. 10 seconds to go. 5th tackle. 4-point game. 7 seconds, 6 seconds, 5. Adam Reynolds out of the left, 15 metres out. Knock on, Dragons win! Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo! What a game. Adam Reynolds tackled. You can challenge that until the cows come home, Muddabish, Adam Reynolds. You know that's a knock-on, and the Dragons will hold out to win 30-26. That is a shocking, shocking play from an experienced player there. You've got to kick that. I don't even know what Adam Reynolds is trying to challenge there, but the point is the Dragons will come away with the chocolates. They'll push themselves up into 10th position. They won't go above the Broncos for just now. The Broncos will end up in 9th by the end of the round because one of the Tigers or Rabbitohs will win. Either, if it's a draw, then both of them will go above them. What a game to finish that one off. What a game. How tight is this game? Very tight game, Iru. There's been a lot of tight games over this season, really. Jared Farman says, finally Dragons win a tight one. Nate J says up the mighty Red V. Troy Fitzsimmons says, I watch all these games and hope all the top teams lose. The Warriors stay in the top 2. Well, neither one of these 2 teams were the top teams, so it didn't really matter. But sure, you just got to hope for the Titans beat the Raiders in the next game. So, guys, I'm going to have to jump off. I'll see you for the next game, which is the Raiders versus the Titans at GIO Stadium in Canberra. Obviously, I'm a Titans fan, so please go into that with the understanding that it's going to be a lot more heightened, a lot more hype, and pretty crazy, man. So, obviously, hit the like button here. Subscribe if you're new around here. Definitely check out BKRtravel if you haven't already on the pinned comment. What a game we've just had there, and I'm looking forward to the next one. All right, guys, I appreciate you as always. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. See ya.